Hello, hello. Let's get this stream streaming, or whatever streams do. Rolling? Bubbling? Burbling? All right, let's see what I got here. Duppa-duppa-dee. Scene. Live. It doesn't look very alive, does it? I look freaking dead. You know why I look dead? Because I don't sleep anymore. I've decided to just stop all sleeping. Hope that's not a problem for everybody. It certainly is for me. Game capture. Is that the one? Is that the game capture I want? Where's my little avatars? Okay. Yeah. Why don't I see them? Why don't I see my little avatars? Hello, says Turtle Princess. Another big hi again from Peru. Always so nice to be able to connect with my favorite SG star. Thanks for that. Ha ha! Paul knows exactly what to say to me every time. Okay, so I've got a chat up there. I don't see our game capture, though. Is that... that's why. Okay, very good. Is that me in the middle? Is that... Yeah, look at that little grumpy me. Although I'm still named TechBandits. You notice that? I should really be David I. Hewlett, shouldn't I? But, you know, dare I change that as well? That's probably a bad idea. Okay, do I have sound? Let's go to the Discord and see. Hey, David, you know what the Incas were really technologically advanced for their time? Crazy that some of the stuff they did 2,000 years ago can't explain how they did it even now. Just started my yearly rewatch of Atlantis. Oh, very good. But your yearly rewatch is like a pilgrimage to Atlantis. Okay, I gave up sleep. Yeah, sleep. Ugh, sleep. Yes, I killed the avatars. That's what I did. I blew them up. I think they're back now. All right. Just started my yearly rewatch. First time chat and yearly rewatch. So how many years have you been watching for then? Okay, so yearly rewatch. You've been watching it since the beginning? EOD guy. And welcome, by the way. Go for Fluffernut. Thank you very much for your subscription. It's very nice of you. Let me see. I didn't warn Cal we were going live, so we may not see Cal. She'll probably be asleep, I'm thinking probably. We're thinking up ways of making my life misery, you know. All right, why do we not see... What is that? What is this screen right here? What is this little thing? It's like a little window right there. I don't know what it is. That's the chat box. I like that. Screen capture. Is that the one? If I do that, will it go in? No, it's still... Okay, what's this one? Browser source. Does that get rid of it? Nope. That's the browser source. Let me turn that off. Oop. Oop. Okay, that's off. D&D Beyond. We don't need that right now, do I? Logitech. Is that me? Is the Logitech the one that I've got? Is that... Nope, that's not it either. My God, I got a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Discord, no. ATM Pro. That's what you're seeing. A little ATM Pro in the bottom there. Okay, all right. Let me just make me a little bigger because I'm an actor and I like to do that to myself. Okay, here we go. Hey, Kigaf says, I still need to get Atlantis DVDs. That Stargate looks nice. Where can I get one of those? I don't know. Keeper of the Bits on Twitter sent it to me. And I was thoroughly impressed by it. It's pretty neat, isn't it? Can you see the Stargate thing? Where's it sort of gone now, isn't it? Where's the other one gone? Let's see if I can find it for you. Is it this one? There you go. That's it. It's a badge, actually. It's a, what is it? Is it DEF CON? What is it? What was it for? I can't remember what it was for now. Someone figured it out. Someone sent me links on Discord, which I'm going to try to be. My son sat me down this morning over his giant bowl of breakfast cereal, which he always leaves the milk for me after. So I get a nice bowl of sugary milk every morning. Just what my tummy needs. And said, look, Dad, you got to be on the Discord more. And I was like, yeah, but I'm on Twitter and then I'm trying to do the Facebook thing because there's so many people on Facebook now, and then there's Instagram and how do I keep track of all this stuff? And he's just like, well, he says Discord's just what all the kids are using, so I should be more on that. Hey, Gippy G, who's been assisting me in my magic endeavors. I'm doing a fantastic job of that. All right, let's get some of the Tech Bandits in here. And when I say some, I mean Mr. Vivepup. Welcome to the microphone.
Hello.
Well, I need to turn on my headphones. Probably that would probably help. Don't panic, Vivepup. It's just me getting all my sound wrong as usual. How are you, buddy?
Pardon?
How are you?
I'm good. I found what I think is one of my new favorite games.
Oh, let me guess. For the next 15 minutes, you like which game? I can't keep track of it. You guys all have the same. You guys all have like a million favorite games now.
Nobody really plays this game. It's really small. It's called Get to the Orange Door. It's $20. I'm just playing the demo. I don't know if I want to get the full game yet, though.
Get to the orange door.
It's a
Let me
very
guess.
fast.
Do you have to get to the orange door? Is that part of the what you're supposed to do?
No, I'm gonna show you, but I'm just gonna say it will make you nauseous.
Oh, forget it. No way. Can't do it. Here, I'll bring up a link to it, and people can look at it this way. Oh, it's like Tron. Looks like Tron to me. All right, let me see if I can bring this up for people. Browser source, does that do it?
Oh, I accidentally did a really good play.
Or is it Chrome? Was it Chrome? Does Chrome do it? Nope. Screen capture, did that work? What have I got? Let's see if I can find this for you. Nope, that's not it. All right. Was it in? What's it in? What does it show up in? Does it show up in? It does show up in Chrome, right? Okay, so let's look at Chrome and see if I can get that to. There you go. Get to the orange door on stream. There you go. Done. Now let's do that. There you go. So people can now see this. Okay, this is the crazy game you're talking about. It looks like Tron. It looks exactly like Tron. Remember, do you ever see Tron, the movie Tron?
No, it's like a Vaporwave type style.
Sorry, what's it called? Vaporwave?
Yeah, that's what the style is supposed to be like. It's very fun though, because you just run around. Because with the demo you only have endless mode instead of the story.
What is the story? Do you know what the story is?
No, I might get it, so I don't really want to spoil it for if I get it.
I see. So you don't want to know what the story is before you buy it.
I don't even know if it has a story. All I know is that it says play.
All right, let me see if I could do this. Does that work? No? Where am I? Where am I in all this madness? There we go. Okay, let's do this. That. If I do this, can it go over that? I'm moving windows around. You know how I love to do that. Okay, so see, that's so funny. I would call this Tron. You know what I mean? Jack Jasra, how are you, Jack Jasra? Good question, Gimpy G. How is the art life going? Have we got Gimpy G in the Discord?
No, he's just in the chat.
He's just being chatty. That's good. He's like my my avatar, my chat avatar. So we've been doing tons. Well, not tons. Yesterday we did a whole chunk of Magic: The Gathering together, and basically, what was that?
I don't know why you're not streaming them on Twitch. You were streaming it on.
Yeah, I just wanted to try it. Just wanted to try it. I don't know what. I mean, it's weird though, isn't it? Because people don't. I don't think people watch. People just don't watch gaming on YouTube, do they? I mean, they watch like archives of it, but they don't watch like live streaming.
To get your Twitch chat there, you have to make an announcement saying, "Hey, we're streaming here."
Right. So I should. So you're saying we should stream on Twitch?
No, you can stream on YouTube if you want. You just need to make a little thing on the Discord to say, "Hey, we're streaming."
Ah, I see what you're saying. Yes. Well, we were just trying it out because Gimpy G was very scared that he was going to screw everything up, and no, I literally just flung myself into it to try it because I just wanted to see what was possible. And as it turns out, we worked out a few bugs, which is great. And then we started playing with a few bugs as well, the scoot bugs, which is really neat.
Yeah. What is this?
Oh, wait a sec. Jack Jasper's apparently quite busy with commissions. That's really good. What sort of commissions are you doing, Jack? What kind of stuff they ask you to do? I always think that's the coolest thing. If you could do what you like doing for a living, I just think that's just the if Jack Jasper can make a living doing the art that he loves doing, I think that's just a freaking cool way to go. Cool. I'm gonna put the chat box on top of that. Very good. So I had no sleep again last night. It's insane. Like I'm just like literally just not sleeping. I'm just lying.
I can agree with that one.
I'm lying on the floor. That's how I sleep now. I just sleep on the floor. Jane laughs at me because she's like, "Well, why don't you just sleep in the bed?" I was like, "Because the bed's uncomfortable." And she's like, "The bed's more uncomfortable than the floor." I was like, "Yeah, I got it." So I lie on the floor so I don't move my shoulders. That's how crazy. That's the thing is, don't get old. Don't get old. Stretch, and wear sunblock. Okay, average 45 to 90 minutes a night since December. You need sleep. I average 45 to 90 minutes a night. What? The geezer geek? That's insane. Yes, I need sleep. It's true. Everyone says you need sleep. I'm like, okay. How should I do that? NyQuil. I worry about those sleep aid things. Though. I feel like it's so hard to get up in the morning. It's the PTSD. It's true. Sorry, is it your PTSD? Or, sorry, is that a real PTSD or my PTSD? I have no PTSD. Okay, I've done a few emotes, some sub badges, and now like 10 profile pictures, but those are very fun. Oh, that's great. So Jack Jasper is like an art machine right now. What do we need? Need a little Star Truck? I seem to be a little Star Truck here. So cool you're on Twitch. David Ames? Hello, David Ames.
I think they meant Starstruck.
I know, but I like Star Truck better. Don't you think? Because it's like being hit by a truck. That's how big my impact is on him.
So you want to hit him with a truck?
With a truck of talent. A truck loaded of talent. That's what I'm thinking. Gonna lurk, making lunch. You do that, Kaiko. You do it. Enjoy. Randy the Magic Man! I've been designing and building escape rooms. Oh, that's cool. Building a spaceship room. Could use a Rodney Mckay intro. Aha. That's actually, I wonder, has anyone else done a sci-fi version of an escape room? I've seen sort of like fancy, like LED type stuff, but I'm not sure that I've seen an actual science fiction escape room. That's kind of fun. Just make them do lots of math to get the puzzles. Is that basically how you do it? One Atlantis question. I always wondered, why is Mckay the only cast named in intros? Because he's the most important? I'm not sure. What Mckay the only cast named in intros? Oh, like the billing? Billing is something that's negotiated, and my favorite billing, everyone likes being at the front of the billing. They like being sort of like, it's like who can have their name first and all that. I never care about that. I like and so as. I just like that. It's always been when I was a kid, like watching, the $6 Million Man and stuff. I saw that name come up or someone's name come up without it, I was like, oh, one day my name's going to be and David Hewlett as, or with David Hewlett as. So I've always just loved that credit. And so when Stargate came around, I was like, can it say and David Hewlett? They were like, yeah, all right. And then they probably knocked a whole chunk of money off it. But I was like, I just want that credit. Credits are so weird though, because their credits are, there are people in the industry who would know that I don't know this, but Jane would be able to explain it. But apparently like certain credits have certain power to them. Like if it's an ampersand in a writing credit, it's different than if it's an actual and. So if you write out, David Hewlett and Jane Lohman as a script, that's different than David Hewlett ampersand Jane Lohman, right? That would be different. Or PG. Okay, $6 Million Man. I remember that. Oh, I love $6 Million Man. Daniel Jackson had it too after he left and came back, but I think Beckett had it too while he was on. Yeah, it's catching. That's the thing. Once you've got it, everyone wants it. I don't think it's something that people generally think about. And it's purely, on my part, it's a purely ego thing, but it's kind of a nerdy ego thing because it's just, as I say, it's just something I literally remember seeing it on the $6 Million Man and thinking like, I want that. Anyway, so hopefully that answers your question. All right. What happened to your what happened to the get the orange door? It's all dark. Oh, it stopped. All right. I'm not showing you. I'm showing the stream. Never mind. Don't worry. It's not your fault. I blame society. All right. I have a bunch of stuff. I ran into Lord Chunky today, and I think he was cutting class. That's what I think.
Don't say that. He's trying to hide it.
Yeah, I think he was. I don't think he was hiding it. Oh, he better not be. God, can you imagine if I've just like totally thrown him under the bus? But I don't think his parents or teachers are listening to the Tech Bandits. I could be wrong. Oh, here's a story about the Tech Bandits. Did you know that if you change your username, it changes the name of your channel?
I think you figured that out the hard way.
I did, the hard way. And because I thought, oh, well, that's not going to work. And I went to change it back, and you have to wait like 60 days to change it again, right?
Oh, so the Tech Bandits is going to be David I. Hewlett for 60 days.
I think I'm just going to leave it as David I. Hewlett, because here's the thing. I think when Stargate people come into this for the first time, or people come in, if they're looking for David Hewlett, I think it's confusing for them to see Tech Banditry as my name. So I thought, okay, I'll just do David I. Hewlett. Then everyone knows who I am. Does that mean when I chat that it shows up as David I. Hewlett now? Because it does? Oh, that's good. Okay. So I should just have a look. Hello. It's me. Don't tell anyone. Oh, yeah, look at that. David I. Hewlett. Okay, so there you go. So it's very clear who that is now, right? Tech Banditry, it could be anybody. Are they talking to a mod? Are they talking to... No, they're talking... So you're talking to me. You get me. That's it, right? Yeah. Peter Sassman. Shh. Hello, me, says Papa Bear. Jack Jasper says, I think the name change is good. Oh, good. Jack Jasper likes it. Well, if Jack Jasper likes it, we could have changed it to Dr. Rodney Mckay, but that just seems a little one-sided and perhaps a little bit clinging to the past, should we say. Oh, now I'm looking at myself, my own channel on the... Oh, I see. Oh, man. Windows upon windows upon windows. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Browser source. Browser sauce. That's good. No, Chrome. That's the one I got. There you go. Okay. All right. So I got a bunch of stuff. I posted a link. Definitely Rodney pretending to be David. Exactly. Branding is important. I know, Hallie Drescher. I know it's important, but I don't know. I feel like, I mean, maybe this is just me making excuses, but I feel like I always wanted this to be pretty casual. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want it to be the official David Hewlett channel. Tune in now for all of your Stargate needs. I just wanted it to be, well, basically I got talking to it by Baz doing the tech banditry stuff. Originally doing Minecraft videos, and then now this. And I was surprised. Like, I mean, we would never have met Wolfpup, I guess, if we hadn't gone streaming, right, Wolfpup?
No.
There you go. What would I do? Wolfpup's the only person ever here, so that's like, it'd be very, very quiet. All I'd have is Gimpy G rattling around, and that's just not the same. I know, doesn't it sound regal? But I think David Hewlett was taken. I think that's why I tried. And also, the thing about David I. Hewlett is, so some total a-hole stole my domain name, right? So I had davidhewlett.com registered for years, and I guess I don't know what happened. Was I changed the credit card or something? I don't know. Something happened. Something probably on my part happened, and I missed the renewal by like literally a couple of minutes. And somebody took that opportunity. I guess has an automated system that automatically snaps them up. So they snapped it up, and then they posted it on, what is it? alternick.com, whatever it's called, and then sent me an email saying, hey, do you want to buy this domain? It's only going to be whatever. They don't even tell you how much it is. Get this, Wolfpup. So it's your domain name. They snap it up. They then contact you and say, hey, we have this domain name. You should totally call us and find out what the number is. And of course, I don't like talking to people anyways. So I thought, well, I gather up the courage to give them a call to get a number off them. And they're like, well, how much do you want to pay for it? I said, I want to pay I said, I don't know. Like I normally I pay like $100 a year for it. And they're like, well, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, well, it did up until you stole it. So, what do you want? They said, well, we're thinking around $15,000. And I was like, what? I literally said, F you. And so I literally told the guy to F off and then hung up and immediately just registered davidihewlett.com and figured, well, people need David Hewlett information. They can go to davidihewlett.com, which I don't think I've even done anything with. I think it just forwards to TechBandits, if that. I've got so many domains now. I have 1 million domains. Did I mention this? Whenever I think of a domain, I just register it now. I don't know why. I just because I don't know. It's like a collectible thing for me. So whenever I'm like reading a book on technology or something and a technology comes up and I think, oh, it'd be kind of cool to have a site that could be the source of information for that. So I don't even know what I've got. I should look up what I've got because I've got a bunch of them. And then I don't know, maybe I'll do like a domain auction and raise money for TechBandits by selling domains. What have I got? Who are they registered with? I think I've got them over here. But let's just have a little look-see, shall we? Okay. Yes. Here we go. This is my incredibly complicated passcode, which is ridiculous. Ah, come on. It wants multi-factor. I gotta go find my multi-factor key. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Luckily, I'm organized. Oh, no, I was organized. Where'd I put it? Oh, no, I got it. Never mind. Okay. Will it let me plug it in here somewhere? No. I got this little YubiKey thing. It's great. All right, what have I got here? Well, I can't unplug that. Oh, my God. Where am I going to plug it in? I literally don't have I don't think I've got anywhere to plug it in. especially when I'm streaming. Damn, I should have thought this through. Let me see if this works. Can I get back in and do this? Talk amongst yourselves. It's really fun. He's probably more exciting than me. What do we got? I'll be fine. All right. Will this work? Let's see if this works. Did that work? Nope. It doesn't like that. How about this way? Is it going this way? Nope. Oh, that's right. It's all these damn USB ports are a problem, aren't they? Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm not going to be using that then. That sucks. Wow. Okay. Forget it. I guess I'm not logging in to look at that. So my desktop, or I should say Baz's old desktop, is completely, the USBs are completely screwed. There's only like 2 functioning USBs now, which of course makes it very difficult to use a USB YubiKey, which I'm now going to put back where it belongs, otherwise I'm going to lose it. Everything in its place, and a place for everything, Wolf Pup. All right, so screw that. That's done. There's no luck on that. No love on that one. Okay, it's like $300 a year to renew an IMDb profile. Otherwise, all the videos, photos, and info you've added are reverted. What's that? Is that really? No, it's not $300 a year, is it? Shut the front door. Seriously? Really? Domain? I find domain name... See, I find the domain names are actually not that expensive. And I just like to grab ones that I think will be interesting for my own... Like, I just feel like, you know... Oh, one day it'd be really great to have like a biotech, you know, centric website, or maybe the TechBandits have a specific biotech thing. So I always think like I'll just register the domain. Of course, the reality is that Jane goes, why do we have, you know, domain hoarder? I think I have like 5 to 10, and I use 2 of those. Yeah, I never made any money on it, by the way. When I registered my first domains, a few days later, I received some mails that I now had to sign up for some service for hundreds of dollars a year. Oh, really? Oh, no, I didn't do that. I used to get, I mean, I started quite early I was doing domain registration and stuff for film and TV companies and stuff when I was, you know, in the early days of the internet. And there's a lot of sites that we let go over the years, which I wish I'd kept, but, you know, I still have freaks.com, which was actually, originally was I had a TV pilot that I pitched and got developed for a little while, and it was actually called freaks.com. And, so I registered the domain for that. And, I've always just held on to it, this feeble hope that someone could make use of it at some point. I wondered about giving it to the guy who there's a guy who's got a whole, like a museum of phone freaking, the old phone freaking stuff. And I wondered about like maybe just like donating the domain name to him for that, so he could just use that.
Phone freaking.
Do you know what phone freaking is?
No.
So back sort of in the early days of computers, and even before computers, people had telephones, and the telephones, everyone was always trying to figure out ways of like hacking the phone. Like, how do you get a free long distance phone call? Because they used to charge you a fortune for long distance phone calls, right? Like you and I talking like this now would have cost like, you know, probably like $100 just to have talked as long as we have right now because of long distance fees over the phone lines. So people were always trying to come up with systems that could somehow get around the phone company knowing that you were calling long distance. So you could, you know, people would call into a business looking for an out dialing number. So you'd call into a business and you'd get a dial tone again. And then you'd use that dial tone to dial somewhere else in the business, which would allow you to dial out long distance. And I used to love that stuff. Never did it really, but read a lot about it. And there were a couple of places that I tried that I'd heard worked. And it was just more to just see if it actually worked at the time. And I was well underage. So, you know, I wasn't going to go to jail. But anyways, point being, it was just like basically an early way they were the early hackers. In fact, Apple, the founders of Apple earned their first few bucks by selling little electronic devices that would create the right noises in the phone to give you free long distance calls. right? So basically stealing long distance phone calls. So, anyways, it's worth looking up. I mean, there was I don't know whether this was actually true or not, but there was a whistle that came in a package of cereal. You get little treats in packages of cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in one of them was a little whistle, and it was in Captain Crunch. And if you blew the whistle into the phone, it was exactly the right tone to trick the phone into giving you free long distance. So there was a phone freaking guy who discovered that, and he became known as Captain Crunch, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Isn't that neat? I mean, it was just like an old school way of. So I'll give you an example of what we used to do when we were kids. So again, we didn't have cell phones. I used to take the subway home from school every day, and like, what do you do if you don't have the dime it cost to make a phone call? So what we discovered you could do was when the phones went to push dial instead of rotary dials, you could literally, like almost like Morse code, click out the numbers. So like you'd go, okay, so let's say you want to dial 1, you'd go 1. 2 would be click, click. And then you could do that all the way up for all your numbers. And so you just go through each number in turn and put in the right number of clicks. And for a while there, you could trick the phone into actually dialing the number for you without putting a dime in, right? So you get a free call. You go, Mom, I'm going to be late. Sorry. Or I forgot my homework, or bring my lunch. None of which actually ever worked because my mom never brought me lunch ever. But she made me lunch, but there's no way in hell she was driving by to give me it. So I say that because I've done that for Baz a few times. So, and then the other one that was kind of neat, which I loved, was that there was a special number you could dial that would dial the number back that you dialed. So you'd go into a phone booth, you'd click in the number, and then the phone would start ringing, right? So we'd go to every subway station and make every phone in the subway station ring. And that for some reason was a great joy to us. So there you go. I'll be home at 6 p.m. That's right. You have a collect call from I'll be home after 6 p.m. Will you accept the charges? Yeah, it's very true. Randy the Magic Man. That's actually very clever. Feel like Rodney basically figured out how to do phone freaking on the ancient. Yeah, it's true. It's true. He was like a Stargate network phone freak. And phone freaks were just hackers basically, but they were hackers with the most sophisticated tools that were available at the time. And at the time, the phone system was basically the biggest computer on the planet, right? So, all right, there you go. This is my boring old ancient history thing. Now, there's a few neat new things that I'm going to look up if I can find them. Do I have it on here? I wonder if I have my raindrop on here. Raindrops. Uh-oh. Do I not? Look at that. I don't on this one. Okay. All right. So I need to. All right. I'm just going to look them up on my phone and I'll send them to you that way. How's that? Crash into you. All right. Raindrop. Keep falling on my. Man, it's been raining today, I'll tell you. Okay. Let me get some topics here. I don't want to pitch you on soft banana hands and not actually give it to you. Sifted robotic wearables. Okay. There we go. See if that brings us up what we're looking for here. Here we go. And there you go then here. Nope. That's not it. Looking for this one. Okay. So I thought this is kind of neat. Partially just because they look like bananas. Okay. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Banana hands. Okay. Check this out. So, oops. I've been talking so long that my headphones have gone to sleep waiting for Wolf Pup to talk. Wolf Pup, you have to talk every so often so that my headphones stay awake. All right.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. You really don't have to. You have to get good luck getting a word in edgewise is what I'm saying. Okay, so this is soft assistive wearables. So this is, to me they look like mittens, but banana mittens. So I don't know if you can see the stream, but they're soft robotics. They look so ridiculous. They literally look like banana hands. But I love the idea of soft robotics, right? The idea of using like basically air robots to inflate and deflate and work like muscles, right?
Wouldn't air robots just be air?
Wouldn't air robots just be air? Well, it is kind of air.
How do you get the robot part into air robots?
Well, because what's going to control the air and where it goes, right? So basically, you've got some kind of electronics that are controlling where the air pressure goes, and then that would then move robotic parts, which is basically just these inflatable bladders, basically, and they're using them here to help like sort of add a little strength to someone's grip or something, or just allow people who can't move to, or basically just have a gripper. The advantage of soft grippers are obviously in things like if you want a robot to go and pick apples, you don't want one that has big metal hands that just like put a freaking dent in every apple, right? So there's a big push for soft robotics that can gently pluck the tomato from the plant and stuff like that, right? And that's what they're hoping with these kind of things. So the sort of the new part of this, because this soft robotic stuff, I've been seeing soft robotic stuff forever. The new thing here is this is like it's basically a knitted fabric, a special fabric that's designed to be used like this. And so the hope is that you can buy that this simulation system that MIT's come up with will be able to simulate what you want, and then on a regular sewing machine or knitting machine or whatever they're called, I don't know what they'd be called, loom, you can actually then sort of basically print out this material, shove your soft robotics in it, and bingo, you're ready, up and running. Because otherwise, everyone's just having to build their own little soft robotics and try different things, right? But they're just the weirdest looking things. Like soft robotics are just weird because they're kind of organic almost. Like, I mean, I feel like eventually we're probably going to go organic with stuff anyways, like have organic robots. Like we're basically organic robots, right? Wouldn't you say?
That would make more sense. My
Except that they're a lot more complicated, right? You know what I mean? Like trying to get an organic robot. Try to build something purely with ooh, there you go. There's a picture. You'll like this one. Here you go. Let me show you this. Here you go. Everyone who doesn't like meat, look away. There you go. Robot chicken. Now it's on robot buns. So basically, this is what I mean by the soft gripper, right? So you don't want some robot crushing the bun, and you get like a big flat hamburger bun. You want like a nice fluffy. Oh, here he goes. This is a chicken. Ugh. Isn't that gross? But again, who wants to be touching that? As a human, I don't want to be touching that, right? Salmonella, getting sick, all that kind of stuff. I want robots doing anything that's repetitive, that's going to hurt my shoulders, and that's going to potentially end my life earlier than it should.
I say that's the third time.
What? Shoulders?
Yeah.
But that was in relation to technology. But yes, you're right. I did want to throw that in there. Did I mention my shoulders hurt? 4. So that's sort of an example of the soft robotics thing. That's like it's this holy grail for companies. They really want these nice soft robotics because they just don't want these big ugly robot hands making a mess of their products, right? Like, oh, I've got a system that makes these beautiful little donuts filled with jello, and then with jelly. That's the word I'm looking for. With jelly, and then some robot picks it up and just squishes all the crap out of it. That's not good. They need nice soft robotic hands. Also, when it comes to working with humans, you don't want some big pokey robot feeding Gimpy G, right? I mean, Lance isn't going to be sitting there with some hard metal clasping hand poking him with a spoon. He wants a nice soft robot, or a robot that's being designed to not stab him in the eye instead of feeding him type thing, right? So it's really good for assistive tech as well. And then, of course, you got to tie all that into the AI necessary to figure out, where to put things and how to pick things up. And because it's so easy for us, we just reach in and grab a piece of ooey gooey chicken. The robot's got to figure out, where's that one piece of chicken? How do I grab it? Where do I put it? It's all got to be programmed, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I love robotics. Honestly, I think if I could go into anything, well, so many things I find exciting, but I feel like the robots are going to be doing all of the boring and painful jobs for us very soon. But people don't think of things like lawyers. I think we're going to have robot lawyers too, right? because lawyers, for the most part, just read things and look for mistakes or look for potential problems related to law. In order to do that, they have to look up law, which means that if they're just looking up stuff and looking for mistakes, then surely a robot or AI would be better at doing that than a human, right? When you think?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So all of a sudden, a job that seems innately human becomes innately robotic, right? So like I'm not sure that like I'm not sure like it would always used to be like you got to be like a all the parents wanted like a doctor or a lawyer or a banker or like one of these like one of these safe, good, high-paying human jobs. And the reality is, I just don't know how much of these jobs are going to be nice, safe human jobs anymore, right? I think it's going to be, in a way, to be more important to be creative than it is to be particularly. Wow.
Pretty sure a while ago we watched a video that said stuff like that.
Oh, is it that rapper guy
Yeah.
about school?
Yeah.
This thing, yeah, that was interesting. I mean, this guy, I listened to another thing recently, and they were saying that school is for learning things that have happened, right? Like it's important. You need to, if you want to know where you're going, you look at the past, right? I mean, you want to. I mean, history can be incredibly boring, but it can also be incredibly interesting because it's basically a way of looking forward. If you understand what has happened in the past, then you're not going to make the same stupid mistakes, or you might be able to see patterns and all that kind of stuff, right? And school right now is designed for learning what you need to learn. And all of that information, for the most part, is old information. That's not to say it's not important, because it's good to have a background and stuff. But the important skills for the future are not going to be those backwards looking skills. They're going to be forward looking skills. So how do you then solve problems that don't have answers or that don't have, clear ways forward and stuff? That's why I was asking everyone about like what they thought the skills were, what the most important skill in the future was, right? If you said picking up chicken, I'd go, dude, I don't think that's a good thing to be focused on because there's like a robot doing it right here. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's hard as a parent because, I mean, do your parents ever bug you about like, when are you going to get a job and get out of the house and get an apartment and stuff?
No, never.
Really? I started on Baz like when he was 7. No, not really. But I mean, I do think it's important I think it's important to get a sense of what it's like to be a grown-up before you have to truly be a grown-up, if that makes sense. I've yet to become.
Isn't that what high school is basically saying?
Well, sort of, except what in high school do you do that is open-ended, that isn't like, do you ever get asked questions that there aren't a right answer to?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? There's things you just ask to like think about.
I don't know how to answer that question because most questions don't have a correct answer to it unless it's like math or science or.
But English, aren't there like English? You've got to hit certain points in what you've got from the book that you're supposed to have read. Do you do a lot of reading?
I'm supposed to.
Do you do a lot of reading for school, or do you get around it somehow?
We don't really have to do that.
You don't have to do much reading. That's so funny because neither does Baz, and I was so surprised. Like I used to have tons of reading, and I suck at reading, by the way. Like I don't know if I'm dyslexic or what, but I struggle with reading, absolutely. Always been a very slow reader. Often have to read things many, many times before it sort of locks in. But I love it just because I feel like it feels like almost like a workout. Like I feel at the end of it, like my brain's more full. It's got more cool stuff in it that I can use. But what do we got here? Holly Dresser, Sarah Kessler, but I don't know about nowadays, but when I was in high school, 100% did not feel like anything was actually preparing me for adult life. I mean, some stuff is, I guess. What's the most important class in school, would you say? What's the one that you go like, okay, this one, I totally understand why I'm doing this?
I'm gonna say math, actually.
Really? Which is so funny because when I was at math, I was like, when the hell am I ever going to use this?
A lot of stuff I don't see why you would have to use in math, like, unless you're going to a specific job. I don't see why I would have to use some stuff, but most of the other stuff I understand. Like,
the thing that was, I remember, so high school, I was not a big fan of school. Didn't like school. It didn't really work for me, if that makes sense. I mean, and I didn't work for it. So we got along very badly. But I remember a friend of mine at one point saying, unfortunately, after I'd finished school, and by finished I mean basically being asked to leave. I he said it's not about what they're teaching you; they're just teaching you how to think, right? And I think that's actually a
Yeah.
really very important point in a way. Is it's like, yeah, is what you're actually learning important? What's more important is you're learning how to learn, right? My concern with that is that if that is the case, then I think learning should be more interesting, because learning is actually, it is interesting to learn new things. It is generally not, I found, not interesting in school to learn new things. I mean, things would
Yeah.
get my attention, but not the way, I like. I mean, if I could go to school and do what I did when I got home, which is things like taking things apart or reading books on electronics and building stuff and breaking stuff and blowing stuff up and all that kind of stuff. Like, if I could do that in school, that'd be a lot more interesting to me. And I know that does happen in certain small doses here and there, but I just feel like school is all about how to make things as safe as possible for the school, so the school doesn't get in trouble. And but then, look, who am I talking to? I'm talking to someone who's at school. What do you think? I mean, what's your sense of school?
I actually don't know how to explain school.
And what do you mean? Like, why you're there?
Like, I know we're there to learn, but I sometimes don't understand why we're learning the things we are.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. That was my. I remember feeling that back in the dark ages when dinosaurs roamed the planet. So you can only imagine what it's like now, where I feel like things are even more behind what's actually happening. Like, the world seems to change so much faster than school does, right? Like, I'm really surprised that some of the stuff that's happening in the world isn't being discussed more with school, because I would have thought that it's such a perfect example of such a great environment to get, for people to be able to sit down and discuss things like, what does war really mean? Like, I mean, the only war I ever talked about in school was ones that had happened in the past, right? Um,
Yeah.
we didn't. I mean, I suppose we didn't really talk about nuclear weapons, because I guess that was just kind of terrifying for everybody, and I'm not sure that anyone truly understood them. But I don't remember ever studying, what exactly they were and how they worked. I suppose now you could look that stuff up if you wanted to, but that would have probably helped me to know. I'd have been less scared or maybe more scared once I knew how they worked. Who knows? But I feel like I feel like we want to be dealing with stuff in life. You don't get like a list of possible. You get a list of possible answers, and you have to choose the right one. But no one ever tells you it's the right one or not. Right?
Yeah.
You figure that out yourself. And I feel like that is a better skill to have than, oh, I got 80% on that class. Yay. 80% of the class. That means I must be ready for life. It's like, well, not really, So, I believe math is a contradiction of mathematics. Interesting. Who said that? Nightbot? Did Nightbot say that? No. Elminster said that. School is also essential for soft skills like confidence, work ethics, listening skills, and collaboration. Yeah, Dr. NPH, Dr. N PhD. I sort of agree with you on that. Like, I think that's what it's meant to do, but I think for a lot of people it does the absolute opposite. Like, it breaks down confidence. I think work ethics. Work ethics. I don't entirely agree with, because I feel like the work ethics for school is just to figure out how to game the system and get the best mark, right? It's not about, those aren't necessary. Maybe that's useful in life, I suppose, but it's more like about gaming the system. Listening skills. If you don't have listening skills, they don't teach you listening skills. They just kick you out of the classroom. I know that from experience. And collaboration. Yeah, I mean, I guess collaboration and friendships. And I mean, like, I would never give up my school days, because I met the people who I still work with making films to this day. We made films when we were kids, and if I hadn't been at that school, I wouldn't have met those kids. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of it. David, you should really read some modern educational theory and how educational practices have changed over the past 100 years. You would find it really interesting, I think. No, I get it, Elizabeth. I've seen a lot of this stuff, but I've also, again, I'm focusing on the negative for sure. But and maybe this is a Canadian thing, I don't know, but I'm unimpressed with the Canadian system from what I'm seeing right now. I'm certainly unimpressed with it from when I was a kid. And I just feel like curriculum and the structure, the necessary structure to provide a good enough education for everybody is diminishing the value of the education that's sort of available to kids, unless you've got money, right? And if you've got money, you can spend money and send your kid to some fancy school. And we tried to do that. Just the beginning around the pandemic, we had Baz in a private school because we thought that was going to help, and it did to some extent. But the reality is, just from a life worldview, I just felt that public school was better for him. I just felt it was better to be. I wanted him to have friends in the real world, and I wanted him to have, and I wanted him to have friends who represented the communities he was living in, as opposed to this sort of false sense of the world that you can get from people who've been sort of flown in because of privilege or driven in because of privilege to these schools. So I guess I don't want to be anti-private school, because the reality is, I think private schools are a response to public education. I mean, that's just I understand that. And I think there needs to be public education. I just wish there was more of a focus on education, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's it, Captain Catherine. I think private schools can give kids a false view of the world, and that's it. It's a bubble to me. I was very lucky. My bubble was wonderful, and it turned out to be all filmmakers, which was great. And I learned how to be an actor because of it. So, send your kids to school; they will do best at. I mean, my dad raised a really good point and said that never underestimate the power of a happy kid. If the kid likes the school could suck. If he still enjoys going to school and has friendships and connections there, then those are skills that you can use in life in a way that some of the badly taught classes can be. What part of my frustration right now is that Baz is not like math, and Baz has always loved math. Like, he's always loved math. He's always done very well at math. He's now talking like he doesn't know how to do math because he's got a teacher who, quite frankly, what do I call him? I call him a math hole. Because I don't feel like I think your job as a teacher is to inspire children. I think in a way, I think it's not about, screw the marks. Who gives a crap? I would rather the kid was getting, lousy marks, but loving every second of it as if he comes at it with a love of math, even if he's not doing it particularly well, I still think that's more valuable than getting, 90% on a class and hating every minute of it and wanting to give it up as soon as it happens. I mean, maybe that's silly, but I just feel like if you love something, eventually you will want to do more of it. And the more you do of something, the better you get at it and the better you feel about doing it. All of these kids, I'm going to go on my rant now. I see masses of incredibly curious, excited kids showing up in kindergarten and senior kindergarten and grade 1 and grade 2. And by grade 4, they've had that curiosity for the most part, bored out of them. And that's my concern. I do. By grade 4, I could care less about school. And yet at the same time, I was fascinated by almost every single subject we were doing there. So it's just, bizarre. All right, what do we got? It's not the case in some states, but even then, parents find a way to fund only their own children's education. That's the other problem you have with education as well. Sorry, Wolf Pup, I've gone off on a tangent, haven't I? But part of the other problem is that once your kid is out of grade 4, you stop worrying about what grade 4 is like, and you start worrying about what grade 5 is like. Once they're out of high school, you stop worrying about high school, and you start worrying about university. So, or whatever, or jobs, or life experience, or, the year off, or whatever, gap year. And I think that's part of the problem is because your sphere of concern moves with your child through education. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do TechBandits was I didn't want to let this go. I want it to be, God damn it. I want it to be exciting. I don't understand why learning isn't exciting, because it's exciting. Hey, Wolf Pup, did you get a chance to see the eclipse last night?
No, I didn't even know there was an eclipse.
There was an eclipse last night of the moon. So basically, the Earth's shadow so the Earth gets between the sun and the moon, and you get, I think it's called a blood moon. I went out to look, but it was too freaking cloudy, which sucks because the day before it was perfectly bright, and I went out because I got the wrong day, and I was like, oh, it's going to be the best ever, and I waited for a while, then I was like, did I get the right day? Nope, I had the wrong day. But the damn clouds, exactly. It just would have been really cool because it's you're basically seeing the shadow of our planet over the moon, which is I just think really cool. All right, was it called Super Blood Wolf Moon last year? Is there a thing called a Super Blood Wolf Moon? Wow. How do flat earthers explain it? Well, it's a dish, obviously, right? Okay. I woke up at 5 for it, but the moon was already gone. Yeah, it kind of sucked. So 5 for you? I think it was like between like 9 and 2 a.m. for us. But, anyways, you may want to look it up. I'm sure someone's got some good photos. So I can look it up now, couldn't I? Wait a sec. What's it called? Okay, let's look up the moon eclipse. Well, I guess it would be called a lunar eclipse as opposed to a mooner eclipse. Lunar eclipse. See, this is why you should stay in school, kids. Eclipse. And again, I don't want to, it's a super flower blood moon. That's what it was called. Boy, someone's got to really work on the naming of this. The Mckay moon, rare super blood moon. Here we go.
That sounds like something that would be in Terrarium, not in
Doesn't
real
it?
life.
Yeah, it just sounds okay. So this is the Republic of North Macedonia. That's a pretty cool looking image. Let's see if I can bring this up for you. Look at that. I mean, it's sort of hard to get a sense of it, but so it's basically that is the shadow of the Earth, which is
Oh wow.
it's kind of neat. I mean, what's kind of weird is it's like I'm like, oh yeah, look, it's a moon that has like a chunk of it, some of it we don't see. It almost looks like what I expect to, but ooh, wow.
It's red.
It's kind of cool in Greece where they're gathered at the Temple of Poseidon near Athens. Do you imagine that? You're like at the Temple of Poseidon and then the moon does that. You'd be like, could you imagine when you didn't know how this stuff worked? How freaked out you'd be? Why is the moon giant? Why is it about to crush the Temple of Poseidon? It's kind of neat. Oh, there you go. So
I thought that would just be scary, just being there and just seeing the moon go red.
Well, that's it.
Get really close
imagine a solar eclipse. How much that would freak people out. Like you're in the middle of the day, you're out there on the farm, and all of a sudden, bingo, the sun goes out. You must be like, okay, take my firstborn child. Like people must be just like freaking out, right? Which I guess is why they got very good at figuring out ways of predicting this stuff. Because of course it's very hard to have a stable civilization if it keeps freaking out every time there's some kind of a weird anomaly in their eyes in the sky, right? So there you go. Sun, Earth, Moon, and the moon appears red. I wonder why it appears red. Is that because the rays are longer? So it's red generally means a longer wavelength, I guess, right? So I guess that's interesting. I wonder if someone, I'm sure in the, oh God, tiny creatures you didn't know are living on your face. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's living on my face. I'm sorry, I can't bear it. Don't want to know. We'll look that up another day. Do you really want to know what tiny creatures are living on your face? Wolf Pup, do you have any desire to hear about tiny creatures that are living on your face?
No, no.
Yeah, see, me neither. In fact, my face feels kind of itchy just talking about it.
For some reason, when I hear something about like bugs or anything, I feel it in my ears.
Oh God, that's even worse. Oh, so you get like itchy ears, or you just like it's like you're just because that's like a way in, isn't it?
My brain makes me feel like there's something in my ear.
The most horrible thing I think that ever happened to me with insects was I was sleeping. I remember this vividly because I was sleeping in my sister's room for some reason. I guess I don't know what the deal was. Anyways, for some reason I was sleeping in my sister's room in her bed. She wasn't there, obviously. And I was, yeah, that's right. No one was around. That's right. Anyways, and I had this weird dream about something trying to get up my nose. And I woke up and there was a giant ant was trying to get up my nose. And I couldn't get it out. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get it? Like, If you touch the back of an ant, what does it do?
It would try to go in more.
Exactly, right? So I'm like, trying to get this thing. And it was like this huge, like, it was like a carpenter. I don't know if this was a carpenter ant queen or something. It was just, it was the most horrible thing I've ever experienced.
How did you get it out?
I blew it out.
I thought you were going to say I didn't.
I didn't. It's still up there now, controlling everything I do and say. And it hates teachers. No, I'm kidding. I blew it out. But for a little while there, it was that sort of like not really awake, not really asleep. And I remember because I was like, what the hell? And I went to the mirror and you could just see its like back legs and abdomen sticking out. And it was big. Like it was up my nose. So it was, oh God, it was horrible. Anyways, I must have felt it and dreamt it. That was the thing. I don't know. They rub against the neocortex causing madness? Oh my God. No, that'd be amazing. That would explain some things. Thank you, Anima Confusa. Anima Confusa decided that the ant is in fact in control. If the ant was in control, I'd be making a lot more sense. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so there you go. That was the creepiest thing I've ever. I screamed. I yelled. It was horrible. I just can't remember why I was sleeping in my sister's room and why it happened the one time I was sleeping there and it wasn't just crawling up her nose instead. Like, to me, that felt that ant should have been up my sister's nose, not up my own nose. I'm just saying. That's all. James Gurney, what do you got? Do I see James Gurney somewhere in there? I keep missing his posts.
He sent a message saying there are stuff living in your ears, and I've just said,
no, James, we don't want to know. Yes, but James, we don't want to know there are things living in your ears. Here's the problem with James is he knows too much. I don't know how he ever sleeps. Because A, he's either doing something brilliant or knowing something that's horrible that could be happening to him while we're sleeping. Yeah, so there you go. Okay. Tons of tiny bugs live in there. Oh, Wolf Pup. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll just ban James for the future, I think. You know? First time chat from Libralonic says, hello. Only found out recently you did Twitch channel. Love your work, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm having a fantastic day. I am, in fact, a much better day now. Thank you very much. Everyone, welcome Libralonics. It was a first-time chat. I like this. I like these kind of first-time chats, which are all so damn positive. You'll fit in beautifully here if you're that positive, I'll tell you. Unless you enjoy having people tell you about things living in your ears, and then you have to go follow James Gurney. Okay, I want to pretend that nothing gross is ever on me. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Captain Catherine. Gippy G, dude, tell David he missed donation. What? I missed a donation? Who did I miss? Gimpy G's like, now Gimpy G's making me feel guilty. How far back? Hey, Miss Linz! I'm so sorry. Well, welcome again. I mean, thank you. Welcome? No, I've already done the welcome. Thank you, Miss Linz, for your kind subscription. That's very nice of you. Even though you're subscribing to David I. Hewlett now instead of TechBanditry for some reason. Very good. Boy, Jedi Sun Lee says, let's go! All love here. It's true. It's true. It's all just love, man. Okay, what else have I got for you? There was a couple other things I saw. So soft robotic wearables. What else could you use that for? I was thinking maybe Gimpy G could use them somehow, but they're augmenting existing hand power. And Lance doesn't really have a lot of hand power, right? Water bots. It's true they could use water, but water's heavy, right? I'm assuming they're using air because it's lighter. Although it's just a pain in the ass to have to compress it, I suppose. What else could you use soft robotics for? Come on,
stuff.
Folding stuff?
Holding stuff.
Oh, I was saying folding. I thought folding was genius. Holding stuff, yes, well done. But you could use other robotics for that. I'm just like, specifically, what would be a good soft robotic use? Okay. Breaking eggs.
Why would you break eggs? Wouldn't you want a hard thing to break eggs?
Well, for the breaking part, but wouldn't you want to hold them? You don't want, there's no way you're going to get, well, maybe you could. It would be difficult for a robotic pincer to come in and pick up an egg, break that egg. Yeah, how would you break that egg without it just dropping out of the pincer and stuff?
Hop.
Like soft robotics, like our hands, you could crack the egg, right? Crack the egg. You've got soft robotics holding the shell. And then also you don't have, you're not going to get, you also don't want, yolk all over your big metal robot, right? At least with the soft robotics, you can also clean them, right? When we get a soft robot. There you go. I got one. What about a soft robot to go in and remove the things living in our ears? I guess they're using soft. They must use soft robotics in surgery and stuff, right? To some extent.
Probably to make it so they can like grab stuff without using gloves or hand.
Well, and also they do so much stuff laparoscopy. I don't know how you'd say that, but basically they go in through veins and stuff with very very tiny scissors instead of actually having to cut you open to get to stuff. It is shocking where they can start and end up with those things. Like they can go in like a vein in your groin and go all the way up to your heart and stuff. Like it's pretty wild. Having a great start to the week. Well, good, Librelonix. I'm glad you are. Advanced surgery. There you go. See, Randy the Magic Man's already on it. Yeah, I would think that soft robotics for surgery and stuff would be great. Soft robotics for... What about for... oh, you know what else would be good for? Like rescues. Right? Like for like incident responses. Like what about like some kind of robotic system to help you in an accident? Inflatable stuff. Oh god, inflatable stuff would be great for people to see, right? I'd like a suit that just like suddenly just appears around me. Whenever I think of soft robotics, I think of what was that Disney movie? Big Hero 6?
Yeah, Big Hero 6.
See, wouldn't you like a robot like that? I'd love a robot like that.
That's the health robot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like genius cuz it's a you know, it's a soft robot. It's using air. I much prefer it when it's evil, but you know, that's just me. You know, space shuttle repairs. I don't know though. Space shuttle repairs, wouldn't that be? I would think you'd want something pretty hard for space. I would think that soft robotics in space would. I don't know. Maybe you're right. It's possible. Val Dice Goblin. Hello, by the way.
I like that name.
Oh, you know what? Shuttle or space repairs on the inside, so you don't poke any hole in anything. That makes sense. On the outside, I think you'd probably want the hard stuff, though, wouldn't you? Maybe translate regular movements into micro movements for nerve repair. Yes, okay. Although soft robotics, I mean, that's almost an AI thing, isn't it? The idea of like changing. I mean, I know that a lot of the big Da Vinci robots. Have you seen these things, Wolf Pup? These Da Vinci robots? They're like surgical. They're surgical robots. They're insane. I'll show you. Grab one here. Named after, obviously, the famous Da Vinci. Not Da Vinci Resolve. Nope. Da Vinci Surgery. There you go. Oh, it's a Da Vinci surgical machine, they say. So this is a... Is this going to come up? Are you going to see it? I'm going to see it when you do this. All right, so check this out. This baby right here is... I don't know if you can really see in the picture there. Oh, can you see... Okay, so her hands right now are on the controllers. And then the patient's over here. But I want you to show you the actual robot because it's freaking awesome looking. It looks like something out of Star Wars. Like, absolutely. It's total Star Wars. Yeah. Where's the picture of it? Come on. Procedures, Da Vinci Systems. Here you go. About Da Vinci Systems. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. We got video. Here we go. I'm accepting all your stupid cookies. Okay, see, he looks nervous, but he's not because look, there's a Da Vinci robot work. So he uses his hands there to do the surgery. And if you look behind him, there's that weird Star Wars robot doing the actual surgery. Why is it not showing that part? Are they scared to show us surgery? Is that what they're? There you go. Okay, so there's an image of it. Can you see that? So that patient cart is what does the surgery. The surgeon console is what does so you're sitting there, you're looking through these little goggles, you're seeing like a nicely magnified part of whatever it is you're working on. You move these controllers and the controllers will take out all the bumps and the stupid human stuff and translate that into surgical movements, very precise surgical movements on this robot. And I think it's genius. Oh, wow. Well, they got lots of stuff. We got a whole bunch of different systems. And I'm sure they cost a freaking fortune. Ooh. So there's the Da Vinci X surgical system. There's the Da Vinci X 11, is that? It won't let me click on it, so I don't know what that... You think They've got surgical robots, but they got a lousy website. Okay.
I don't want like I don't feel like much people would want to have surgery by a robot.
You don't think so? What about like eye surgery?
No. I would much rather have that done by a person.
Really? Some shaky old guy like me who sneezes? Like, what
I wouldn't
happens?
want I wouldn't want someone who isn't trained, but I would not trust a robot with my eyes because I don't like.
Have you heard of laser therapy? Laser eye therapy?
Yeah.
LASIX? Yeah, that's robotic. That is a robot doing that.
Oh.
Isn't that neat? Like, I think it's funny. I think I'm not pitching it right because I feel like I say robot and you picture like some kind of like giant robot thing, but these are like specialized devices. And it's funny. Yeah, sir, go ahead. So what is your fear? Your fear is that the robot's going to do something wrong?
This is just my opinion, but
No,
I don't like having anything, like not even a human near my eye. But like, if it was to be anything, I'd rather it be human. It's because they would have the thing to be like, we messed up. How do we fix this? Instead of a robot would be like, oh, and it would continue doing what it's doing.
So you don't like the idea of like some kind of relentless machine continuing, even though it's actually just taking your eyes out.
Yeah.
Which I could see the fear there. See, so that was definitely how I used to feel. I now, guess because I'm older and more jaded and don't trust humans, I feel like a human is more likely to make an error than a robot. Like a robot's not going to make an error. It's only gonna do what it's told to do, right?
But I feel like if a robot made an error, that's a pretty big if in this case.
But what about like, okay, but if a human makes an error, don't they try to cover it up?
No, they would try to cover it up and fix what they've done instead of
Right. But don't you think that, I don't know. See, I think if someone's coming at my eyes, I want it to be a robot because I want it to be like, do not move. And you don't move. Hey, how do you stop yourself from moving? Is there a robot to stop you from moving? Or the robot tracks you and moves with you? Whereas humans, I don't know. I'm the complete opposite of you for once.
Wouldn't you be in anesthesia, though?
Oh, I guess somewhat. With the eyes, I think you've got to be awake, don't you, with the eyes?
I feel like they would just keep the eyes open.
I think they put something on the eyes to make it go to sleep. Has anyone had it done? I'm curious if anyone in the chat had it done? Done the laser surgery thing? Legally, the blame would go on to the humans in control. Yes, right, exactly. Oh, wow. I just did the whole mirror within mirror. Look at yourself in the whatever. I want to go back to that. Has anyone had the... Oh, thank you very much, Strutson. That's very nice of you for 100 bits. Whatever that means. Okay, anyone done robotic surgery that they can remember? Okay, here we go. Captain Catherine says, my husband had laser eye surgery in Canada when it was illegal in the U.S. still. It was illegal? Hewlett's Inception. It's so true, Darkstrom. I believe you are away. They just freeze, numb the eye, and hold it open with the LASIK as far as I understand, but you haven't had it done. Okay. Keep the eyes open with some matches. Oh, God. Oh, no. That's awful. Okay. 2 robotic-assisted surgeries. Who's that? Oh, really? I've had LASIK, and the camera tracks your eye movement. It's cool. Yeah, so I see. So a camera tracks the eye movement and then adjusts where it's going to stick the needle or whatever the heck it's doing. Laser, basically. I guess it's laser. A robot doctor doesn't drink a fifth of whiskey trying to recapture a youth lost. Oh, God. Okay, so for God's sake, no. If Gimpy G ever turns up with a doctor in front of his name, do not allow him to do surgery. But yeah, you're right. Like, what if your doctor's having a bad day? What if your doctor was like me and didn't sleep very well and their arms hurt? I mean, yeah. Then what? Okay.
They wouldn't go to the doctors. Like, they wouldn't go to their job if their arms are hurting and shaking.
Hey, wait a sec. Captain Catherine's husband had 2 robot shoulder surgeries. I want robot surgery on my shoulders. I just want robots instead of shoulders. That would be even better. Okay, my LASIK surgery, you are numbing... what's it? My LASIK surgery, you are 100% awake. Just a bit numbing gel on your eyeball. Ooh, that is cool. Yay, insurance. Yeah, no kidding. Make sure the robot is battery backed up, though. Don't want power outages in the middle. Oh, my God, that's true. James Green, wait. I'm a doctor. Can I cut your eyeballs? Of course, James. We trust you. As long as you just keep those things out of our ears, James, you're up for it. Doiki Doiki Baka is noping out on that, which means I think, be careful what you wish for. There you go. After watching enough air crash investigations, even pilots do silly things sometimes, and they are very well trained. Humans are not perfect. Thank you, Jonathan MLH. So, Jonathan MLH, would you be more or less prone, or up for the idea of like a robotic surgery? I'm curious because if he's been watching air crash investigations, I mean, I would rather a car be driven by. Okay, that's a question for you. What about that? So. Wolf Pup, would you rather the car be driven by a human or automatic?
Automatic?
Well, I mean, like auto, like, AI controlled.
I mean, as of now, I'd rather it be a human.
Really? Hello, Lord Chunky.
Yeah.
The voice of Lord Chunky.
I wouldn't trust the artificial intelligence to drive a car right now.
I trust it more than. Don't sell this to Baz because he's got to drive with me tomorrow. But I trust an AI more than I trust myself driving. Because I get distracted.
You should. I feel like an AI can just completely not see something too.
Well, that's true. Wasn't there something where they dropped a bunch of pipes on the road and the car's just like, okay, I don't see anything. And then there was another one that someone did that. Someone did the auto call thing or whatever it's called, the concierge. What do they call it? The concierge, the valet service. Where you basically you hit a button on your phone and the car comes and gets you, except that they were like flexing and they were getting off of a Learjet when they did it. And the car doesn't know what a Learjet is. So it just went straight through it. Apparently it did like a bunch of damage to this Learjet. And then wait a sec, who gets fined for that? Okay. My Tesla just scratched a Learjet. Who pays for that?
That's a good question.
Isn't it?
Yeah. You probably.
I guess because you're the moron who.
I'm
not allowed to say moron, am I? Is moron a bad term now?
No.
Isn't?
I don't think so. Maybe it might be.
All right, I'm the idiot who. I'm the idiot who decided to call my Tesla to a plane. But I guess if you're. I mean, it's funny. Not to start a rant about Elon Musk or anything. I'm actually listening to. So the book I'm listening to right now is the Elon Musk biography. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's, sort of interesting. I don't like it when books try to make their past sound like, the difficulties of growing up in South Africa and living on Saskatchewan and all this. Whoa, who's that? Hello, Jane. Hey, Jane. Jane, would you, if you had a choice, would you prefer surgery done by a robot or surgery done by a human?
Oh, I like the robotic arms for humans.
Right, yes. So, robot-assisted humans.
Yes.
Okay. Because the LASIK surgery, apparently they numb your eye, and then the camera tracks your eye so they can do the laser right. So it's basically robotic.
Yeah, but...
Can we hear Jane talking?
I mean, I presume that there would never be...
Did I say thank you for the tea and the... Thank you so much.
That's okay.
I didn't get to that. Yeah. But thank you very much. I've got Jane's delicious banana bread and a massive mug of tea. And this is why she just does this. She just does this the day before she leaves.
Yes, exactly.
Just to make me miss her. That's all.
There you go. Yeah. Because you can't have surgery that's done by robots when, robots don't have the same reaction to,
Yeah, they don't react.
I know, but it's like with the robotic kitchen thing. You have to put everything in the right place for it.
Yeah, but aren't your organs all in the right place anyways?
Well, yeah, but they could be moving. No, but that's the problem, isn't it? The thing that you might be cutting out might be.
Okay, but precision stuff, I would think there's some things that eventually we're going to get to a point where robots are going to be better at doing the precision stuff than the humans, right? My dad had to stop doing surgery because he said he didn't have more of a tremor than anybody else, but once you reach a certain age, you just don't have the same, your hand is not as steady.
Yeah. So presumably do the robotics not have a kind of, like a Steadicam have a
Yeah,
compensation? For
absolutely.
That?
Yeah, they do. So they compensate for the shake and they get rid of the
But
shake.
what about the shaking of the person being operated on?
Well,
How do they
just don't
compensate
shake
for
while
that?
you're getting operated on. That's the problem.
Everyone must be
Nobody
completely
move.
unconscious.
Nobody move the robot, and the robot will be fine.
Yeah.
I got Lord Chunky on here.
Oh, hello, Chunky.
Hey, Lord Chunky, you know that I threw you under the bus, right?
Yep.
For what?
Well, I realized
Allergies.
at the very beginning of this thing, I mentioned that I saw you today ditching school.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
wasn't ditching. He
I mean, I
was
wasn't
sick.
necessarily ditching.
I don't know. That's what
You
I
weren't
heard.
going to the park to buy drugs?
He was just out to see Zah, who is now lying.
Zah's now lying in a hole in our
Mhm.
backyard.
Yeah,
That's great.
she's lying in the...
How you feeling, by the way, buddy? You feeling all right now?
Just like congested. I don't know.
I'm convinced,
I did
first
a
off, that
rapid test, and it's not COVID. Or I
it's
don't have
probably,
COVID.
I think there's a lot of pollen, I think, and stuff.
I think that might be it.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like, because I feel my allergies a lot more than I used to. Sorry, Jade, did you want to talk to me?
No, I just brought you the tea and the cake. And
That's
I
the
was
wrong
gonna
answer,
go.
Jane. You're supposed to say, of course, I'd love to talk to you any opportunity I get.
Well, except you're busy.
I'm very
And
busy.
I appreciate
Very,
that.
very busy.
And it's nice to talk to everybody, but yeah, I'm
Put
Someone
you
else
out of here.
just joined.
Jane's got a pack. She's going to France tomorrow.
France. Lucky.
Jane is going to France, and she doesn't know how much it's going to cost her because she doesn't know how much ordering of food we're going to do.
I thought you were just gonna say, and she doesn't know she's going to France.
She doesn't know she's going to France. This is the first she's heard, and a robot's taking her. Well, that's funny. You know that like airplanes. I think a lot of that's being done by autopilot now, isn't it? Actually, we could ask Jonathan MLK because it sounds like he knows. Jonathan MLH, sorry. Jonathan MLH, you've been working around the aviation stuff, right? Do you know if it's basically all autopilot now? They can land themselves. See, again, I just feel like I would rather a computer system do that than some freaking tired airline guy who's just broken up with his wife and had an affair with the flight attendant and drank too much last night and is now flying a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my thought. Yeah, wait a second. Why weren't you riding your bike, Lord Chunky?
Because I was walking back from school.
You don't take your bike to school?
No, I don't.
I thought that's what bikes were for. That's the only time I ever used my bike.
I walk with your son. No.
Well, that's a waste of time. Okay, so you walk with my son, but is there a place like, I guess you got to be careful someone doesn't rip that bike off too, right?
Yeah, I could put it somewhere, but I wouldn't want to leave it outside.
You should get a tracker for it.
Yeah, I just tend to not leave it outside at all.
Right, that's true. I'm kind of like that too. I don't leave anything I'm worried about. I just like basically keep it with me the entire time. Yeah. All right. I heard this new 4090's coming out, by the way. Or 40.
Oh,
no,
exciting.
not about
I don't
4090.
know.
The 40 series or something?
Yeah, in the 40 series.
Or are they
I'm
just trying to say things so that we don't
more
talk about?
excited about like AMD and like the RDNA 3 stuff.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Wait, give me 1 second.
All right, Lord Chunky. Okay, what's that? Boeing screwed up by not informing the pilots not requiring their retraining. Oh yeah, no, that was shocking. David has a bike, mind blown. I have a bike, I just don't use it.
You know what you need, David?
About
Wait, Jane isn't here.
20 years younger.
Right.
What?
Motorcycle. You used to have one, right?
Yeah, I love my
Get
motorcycle.
another one.
Jane wants me to get a motorcycle, but it's just because she wants me to die,
Really?
and then she got an insurance claim. I think that's what it comes down to. No, Jane loves motorcycles. When I first got her, when I first tricked her into going out with me, she loved the idea of a motorcycle. And I thought when I moved to LA, that I was going to get a motorcycle. But I got there and I was like, people are crazy. And I'm too distracted now. I used to, I'll tell you, I've got to be the only person I know who fell asleep on a bike while he was driving it. I literally fell asleep on a motorcycle and drove into a guardrail.
How fast are you going?
By then, probably it was quite slow by the time I hit the guardrail. because I literally just dozed off while I was riding, and my hand sort of, so I let go of the whatever it's called, the throttle, and literally just slowly drifted off to the side of the road, and then I woke up with this noise of like as I was hitting the side of the thing. I was like, whoa! I came to. Yeah, I was just really tired. I was working in IT, and I just done like a 20-hour day, and I was driving home, and it was so late, and I was so tired. And then I sold the motorcycle that weekend, and bought a Toyota Corolla with a little sunroof. No, Toyota Tercel. That's right, with a moonroof.
Oh, yeah, I know you got it right.
I loved it. Yeah, maybe you don't get another one, says Sarah Smith. So that's why I don't have a motorcycle. Although I'd love a bike. You know what I'd love? I would love when I've got my tractor and a pig.
A tractor?
I'm gonna get a tractor and a pig that I call Tractor. This is my plan. Did I not tell you my plan?
No.
I'm gonna get a tractor. I'm gonna paint it pink, and then I'm gonna have a pig, and I'm gonna call that
tractor as in the pig. You're gonna paint the pig pink?
No. The tractor will be pink. The pig will already be pink. So I'm assuming it'll already be pink. And then I'll call that pig Tractor. Right?
Uh-huh.
Right. And then, so when I've got that, we actually have, well, it's Jane's land. If she's still putting up with me then. Maybe I can get like a motorbike to, like a, oh my God, I'm going to be too old to do that, aren't I? If I'm like 70, I'm not going to be like 70 on a motocross bike. It'd be like, I got a new bike. And the next thing they see me, I'm like just up a tree somewhere.
Like the old people always have like the Harleys.
Oh, I know. With the big stereos and the gold wings, those giant gold wings.
And like the giant seats on them too.
I don't know. Do you ever go on your dad's bike?
No, never.
So Lord Chunky's dad has this beautiful, is it a Triumph or a Norton? It's Norton, isn't it? No, Triumph.
It's a Triumph, yeah.
Triumph. Do you know what type of Triumph it is?
No, I don't.
Triumphs are beautiful bikes. They're British, I believe. And to make myself feel cool, he parks the bike in our garage over the winter. And then I was joking that I go out every night and I sing to it. I don't know why.
What do you mean joking? You do go out every night.
Wasn't joking. What are you talking about? Oh, motorcycle, vroom, 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 vroom. Yeah. The song changes.
Making motorcycle noises to a motorcycle.
Well, because it was probably feeling lonely. It hadn't been ridden for a while. It's all plugged in like a Frankenstein. I think of it like
it has to socialize.
It has to socialize, exactly. Yeah, especially a British motorcycle. It's got to talk. It probably wants a beer from the pub. But it's always funny because when the way a motorcycle looks so sad in the winter because it's got, especially in Canada, obviously, where you've got like this big cover on top and it's all plugged in like it's on life support. You almost expect it to go deep, deep. Because it's like got a slow trickle charge in the bike to keep it from like, I guess, freezing or the battery from dying or whatever. Okay, I'm going for my carrot, my whatever this cake is. Banana bread, right? There you go. Banana hand robotics and now banana cake. It's perfect. Okay. Banana bread. That's the one. Okay. I had something else I wanted to show people. I've totally screwed up and didn't bring my other computer down, so I'll have to do this. Okay. This was neat. I did a chat with my friend Mckay. And Mckay was basically the science and math expert that we spoke to and had worked with us on Stargate. And I did a podcast with her on the weekend called Dial the Gate. She's amazing. I love her. Like she's like crazy scientist cool. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like she's like Bill Nye only female. And obviously much younger. But she pointed out this thing that I didn't know about. Her background is in what did you call it? Geophysics? Something. Yeah, anyways.
Something.
Basically earth physics. So she originally started doing I can't remember what she was doing originally, but she moved into like landslides and stuff. So she studies like disastrous stuff. Get this, she gets hired apparently by rich people to go to their parties and talk science with them.
Really?
Isn't that wild? I didn't even know that was a job.
That's crazy.
Neither did I. That just sounds like a job that only like one or two people would buy.
I think, well, that's what I would have thought, but she made it sound like it happens, I mean, she says that because of her specialty is in sort of disasters, people love hearing, like rich people love hearing about all the disasters that could befall the planet, so that they can then, I guess, make more money by banking against it or something, or trying to fix it or something, right?
Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of cool that that's what she does. And then Jane said, David, I don't think, she says, I just don't see you going to parties to be the smart person. I was like, I'm insulted by that. I go to parties to be entertaining, not to be the smart. So, but I just thought it was kind of cool that was her bag. Anyway, so she said that she blew my mind with many things, but two of the things that stood out for me recently, which I thought you guys might be interested in, is one is, did you know that you can get your own like seismology sensor kit for a Raspberry Pi? You can stick it in your backyard, put it on the network, and you are now a part of the global seismology like data collection system. So literally, you could put an earthquake detector on a Raspberry Pi in your backyard, and it's actually of some use to people.
Must there be too much of a use in Toronto?
Well, apparently it is, though.
Maybe other places.
Because it doesn't just pick up. It can pick up tornadoes. It can pick up like local traffic, all this kind of stuff, explosions. And then some of these things have lots of other sensors on them as well. Like you can get the whole sort of global, you can get whole things that have like global positioning and air quality and, you know, I guess CO2 levels and all this kind of stuff. So you've got all this data together. But the idea being that because of this system, there was this, what happens in a pandemic when it all shuts down? All of a sudden, these very sensitive machines can hear earthquakes so much better. And she was saying that people were feeling earthquakes that they never would have felt before, because normally it would just be drowned out by all the surrounding noise and sound and trucks going by and stuff.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, they saw this, they could actually like see the silence in their readings. I just thought that was so cool. You know what I mean?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, James Gurney, you should be a party nerd. But James Gurney should go like in a little, in one, like should get like all oiled up and wear like a little like, you know, sexy bikini kind of thing and go to the party like that and be the smart James Gurney at the party. Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
This is about what I imagine this channel to be. Kind of scientific and all. Yeah, well, this is the thing. I love science fiction, but honestly, I find science more interesting because I like the idea of, I like thinking about all the things, all the fiction that could come out of the science. So I'm definitely more interested in the science side of the science fiction for the most part. But, you know, science fiction is great too. It's good for, was it first stage of engineering is dreaming, right? Okay. The thing I remember most about her was talking about licking stones. Yeah. So, yeah, Mika.
I lick salt. That's about it.
That's it. So she was on the salt flats of wherever it was, and she licked that. Even though they said you shouldn't do that because there's a lot of pollutants in it. But apparently, she says most metallic rocks you shouldn't lick. I was like, I'm not sure that you need to tell me not to lick rocks at all, because I feel that instinctively I just don't generally lick rocks. But maybe that's a female scientist thing, the rock licking thing. David, have you done any other work after SGA? No. Nope, that's it. This is it. I've just been in my basement talking to people. Yeah, a couple of movies. Yeah, a couple of movies up for Oscars, that kind of stuff. It's been fun. The do not lick list. I know, there should totally be a do not lick list. What the hell is that noise? Who the heck is like, what are you unpacking a robot? Is it Lord Chunky making that noise? Lord Chunky, are you opening your groceries?
It's the plastic bag I was moving.
Holy mother!
But
hey!
I'm far away from my router, so
Hey, Ham's right here. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hello, Baz. That's very nice of you to join us, because I know that, you know, there are other things you'd rather be doing, I'm sure. Baz, riddle me this, buddy. Would you rather have surgery by a robot or a human?
Robot.
Robot?
A well-programmed robot than a...
Dude, I'm with you. So it's you and me on this one. Jane,
People say human? Who says human?
Well, Vipup says human. But I think
Why?
Vipup's much more trusting than we are.
Humans are just vastly inferior.
Yeah. Maybe Vipup's got better parents than you do, that he trusts more. Wouldn't
I
be
just
hard.
feel like robots wouldn't have the, as I'm going to say, Doctor House material in them.
Ah. Well, they could be grumpy, I'm sure. Well, do you think they'll get there though? Like, so you just don't think they're there yet, basically?
Yeah, because the other day I was watching Doctor House with my dad, and I was just thinking, well, robots can't really do the thinking on how to reset a human brain if
Right.
something goes wrong.
I see. Yes, right now it's not there yet. Although I would argue this. Apparently, they've done, I don't know who did the study, but there was, in fact, I should be careful this isn't fake news, but I heard, so it's kind of anecdotal now, that cancer detection, like skin cancer, the apps, I'm not sure about the specific apps, but there is like basically the software to identify whether a thing on your skin is cancerous or not is more accurate. The computer is more accurate than a human now, because a human just can't contain all of the many images that the AI has been able to use to compare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which sort of makes sense to me. Like that, I would definitely trust an app, and then I would want to follow up with a doctor, right? So I'd go.
I wonder how long
Hmm.
it would take to like attempt to train a human like an AI. Like if you were to show up like a human like millions of pictures for like years on end.
That's what I'm doing with Baz
Uh-huh.
while he's sleeping. No, we can't. He's obviously, it's a Monday tired. He's got a Monday. I can almost hear the Monday tired in him. Yes, I guess. I mean, I guess that's what you would call education, wouldn't you? Isn't that the whole point of education, is to try to get them, sort of to do what they're, to sort of max them out, is to make them the best human possible, if that makes sense? I would think, but yes, I suppose if you, I don't know. I feel like you would reach a point with a human. I would say that we're already at a point with humans. Like I'm complaining all the time about, I don't know how I'm supposed to check Discord and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, even just simple social media. I feel that I need tools. I need automation tools for that. I wish there were automation tools for that. You think that's just me and my ADHD, or do you think that's just me?
Just you.
You think so?
I can check.
I am able to
I don't
check
buy.
social media.
I don't buy that.
Why?
I just want to say that's not really like Squirrel not being able to check your social media. That's just not being able to check social.
No, I'd say that's Squirrel for Dad.
But how do you get? But like, there's too many things.
I'd entirely blame it on his ADHD. I don't know why he can't do that. Between
emails and tweets and posts on Facebook and Discord, like there's just too many things to get back to everybody, Like I feel like I should actually, look, we're using one already. So we've got a bot in the stream that will put out information every so often, because who's got time to type all that information every time? That's just a robot helping us out, to do stuff, that would otherwise would require manual labor, right? Which reminds me, we should probably put a new one to remind everybody. Well, I guess if they're here, they know that they already know where the channel is, right? I was telling everyone that I changed my name, and then I screwed up the channel.
Oh.
I changed my name to David I. Hewlett, and now we're David I. Hewlett instead of TechBandits, right? So.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that either? I guess I should.
No, I didn't.
I should let people know that.
I'm not watching the stream right now.
Did you follow the link? Oh no, you just went to Discord. Right.
Discord.
Hire an assistant. Yeah, that's what I need. Movie Lad is sobbing for some reason. What's that? I'm in a working environment, Slack and Teams. I have used both. I have to use both at work. Both. Oh, Movie Lad, I am so sorry. I've tried to use Slack before. There's all sorts of stuff. I just don't. And Teams, I don't even know. I mean, no offense to Microsoft, but holy crap, that is the worst. I've had nothing but trouble with Teams. You might want to send a tweet with your Twitch. That's true. I hate Teams. We use Teams and Skype. I don't mind Skype. Sorry, what were you going to say, Wolf Pup?
Skype?
We use
That's like
Teams
older
for
than I am.
my school, and I actually like it better than Google once I started getting used to it.
Oh, really? I guess it's just what you get used to. I guess that makes sense.
It's because it keeps all your stuff in one place, and it says, like, instead of having to go to each class and be like, what do I have to do here? It's like you get all your assignments in one page saying, oh, you need to, your
Google
tech, you
Classroom
have
has
to do
that too.
math.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
why I
'cause-
like Google Classroom.
Google Classroom is
Classroom, I feel,
okay.
is
I've
even
used
more-
that. I've used that a bit.
Why?
Well, Google Classroom?
Yeah, why have you used Google Classroom?
Because of Biohacking 101 has a course on that.
Ah, okay.
And then also it's not Classroom so much. Coursera has a whole system
Sorry.
as well.
That wasn't meant to be like as a like judgmental. I
No,
just
no,
was
I
wondering-
no, I know you're judging me.
I
It's
didn't
fine.
expect
I
that
expect
you-
you to judge me. It's fine. I expect to be judged by you.
Just gonna make sure. Okay.
All right, let me see. I want to show you this sense thing though. So the earthquake is because it's called Raspberry Shake, which I kind of like I like the sound of that.
Shake.
So I'm going to show you
Could
Raspberry
you just
Shake.
like not just like shake it and then report a whole bunch of false data?
So you're already hacking the seismic information of the world. So basically, you're the Dr. Evil of seismologists.
I suppose.
So I guess, great. So basically, Lord Chunky just broke the world's earthquake detection because they're like, oh my God, there's a massive problem in Toronto. Toronto's being attacked by Godzilla. Actually, that'd be really funny if you could like somehow like put sounds in as well and make like Mothra sounds and just like throw them and then like hand the Raspberry Pi Shake to the dog and let it just play with it for a bit. No, I think that's the beauty of it being a community system is that, you know, obviously you might have that data showing up on the network, but the person three doors down would not, right? So it's kind of like that. It's almost there will be outliers, I'm sure, places where you go like, well, why is that one so crazy? And then they'll just go like, oh, that's Lord Chunky seismologist stuff. He's probably playing with it right now. You know, so that's Saren Smith's got to go. See you later. All right. Yeah, so I just thought that was so this is the Raspberry Shake, folks, that I just think that's kind of cool. They've got lots of different seismograph and I don't know what infrasound is. Does anyone know what an infrasound monitor is?
Sound of infrared, obviously.
Is it though? Like, what the hell's the sound of infrared?
I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that means about how it works. There you go. Look at that. Okay. Like, those look like little shaky things. I get that. What can it detect? Airplanes, earthquakes, landslides, sea products. Okay, here you go. Raspberry Pi computer board and a geophone. The hell's a geophone? I'm guessing it's some kind of a. Let me guess. It's a piezoelectric. It's got to be something that just that takes movement and turns it into some kind of a electronic signal, right? Here you go. There's the sensors. Oh, look at that. What did I say? Okay, so coil, springs. No, coil and springs. It's like old school. Okay. A geophone sensor consists of a coil of wire wrapped around a mass, suspended above a fixed magnet with a string. Oh, spring. String would be weird. As the mass moves in response to ground motion, velocity, the magnet moves electrons through the coil, producing an electrical signal. Okay, all right. So basically, a springed coil moving over a magnet creates a signal. Okay, all right. That doesn't seem very sensitive to me. What is this? MEMS accelerator. This microelectrical mechanical system sensor uses the concept of a mass attached to a spring to, well, that's what the other one did, to detect movement. When vibration occurs, by measuring the forces on the spring, it is possible to determine the local ground acceleration. Okay, so I see. So again, just moving little, that's inside the chip? Oh my God, it's tiny. It's in a chip. Wow. Okay, so it's just basically like a microscopic motion detector that moves a spring. Okay. Then here we go. Infrasound sensor. Okay. This high precision sensor, I thought it would be more precise, is also called a microbarometer due the fact that it I would have said due to the fact, but I guess maybe due the fact that it measures minute changes in atmospheric pressure. They are able to detect sound signals which are inaudible to the human ear. Wow. Okay, so what's going on here? Tensioned inconel diaphragm. So there's like a tiny thing under that's sort of bent. Ceramic electrodes. So I guess any movement I see. So any air movement, I guess, is going to move that little diaphragm, and you're going to get a signal. Oh wow, okay, that's kind of cool. That is neat, though. Huh. Okay. All right. I kind of want one in my backyard now. So whenever the dog runs outside, it would like people would think there's an earthquake in Toronto. I like that. That's Lord Chunky's idea. I think that's good. Okay, one more thing I'm going to throw at us before I bore everyone into complete and utter comas. Was
Well, you're too late on that part, but
burn.
why would you?
Baz gets a 90% in burn.
Why did you say burn?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Isn't it called burn?
Like that just completely ruined.
Isn't that called a burn?
Yes. Good job, Dad.
Isn't that called a burn when you burn someone? Like when you insult someone? Isn't it called what do you guys call it? What do you kids call it now?
No, you could say a burn.
You could say that, yeah.
Wait a sec. You could say it and it's cringy?
Yeah.
You could say things cringely and uncringely.
Oh, I see. So it was the way I said it that was cringy.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I got to learn the way of the way of the
Wouldn't
teenager.
say burn. You kind of just ignore it.
But no, I'm not going to ignore it. If I ignore it, it sounds like you might have got to me. Or you know what I should do? I should do my sad look and make you cry. I have a sad look that if I do it, Baz gets very upset.
Yeah, I get very angry.
It's like kind of a I'm trying to think of it. It's like one of those it's like the Stargate episode where I'm dying. Where I'm turning into a child again. I'm losing my brain. I can't remember what it's called. Was it called the Tao of? Was it the Tao? No, it was the. I can't remember what it was called now. I can't remember what that episode was called because it's whatever. But because it was 1,000 years ago. Yeah, it's this little sad look where I look at him and then I look away, and I'm like, and I just do like a little. It's okay. Look, and he just. Oh, it's amazing. It's great. Okay, last thing I'm going to say today. I lied. Last thing I want to talk about today is this one. Okay, let me see if I can bring this one up. I think this one, I would be amazed if you're not interested in this. I'd be amazed if you don't say, hey, Dad, can you print that? Okay.
Now he's not gonna say that.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's true. All right, let's see if we got this here. Here we go. Here we go, folks. I think you'll like this. This is the lock decombinator. Decombinator. It's basically a safe cracking 3D print.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why are you telling people this now? They're gonna.
I know. But isn't that cool though? I would rather you were prepared and know the tools. I'd rather you were prepared. I would rather you would know that this is possible than pretend it is not. Because that means you, the good people, know the information that the bad people know. But this is a little system. I don't even know if it works. I like to 3D print it to see if it actually works. And it's designed specifically just for cracking, like, just those like locker locks. So you can if you built this right, you could have one that you could stick to a locker at school, and when you come back from English class, it's popped the lock for you. Not that you should ever do that. Would you be suspended or would you be treated like a hero?
For stealing from someone's locker?
Well, no. What if someone was locked in a locker and they couldn't get out? Bring me the decombinator. You know what I mean?
That is different than what example you said. But the example you said is just I'm just blatantly stealing open someone's locker.
I can think of 3 distinct situations where I could have used this. I was locked in a locker 3 times in school. And it was scary because no one knew what the password was.
Why wouldn't you just say, oh yeah, this is the password?
I didn't know what the password was. It wasn't my locker. It wasn't my lock. That's the trick. If you can lock someone in a locker without knowing what the lock or whose lock it is, so basically what would happen is the janitor would have to come, and at the beginning of every year you would give a list of all of the codes to the school, and they would have to try all of the codes in our grade to see which one it was. So on 3 separate occasions I was locked in a locker. And I'll have you know that they were 3 different people who did it to me, and they all became my best friends. There you go.
Why?
Wow.
Because I didn't tell on them. Right. They said, who did this? I said, oh, I was just goofing around, and I guess somebody didn't know I was in the locker when they locked it. And let me just tell you that none of those teachers believed me. But I just thought it was better than giving. I thought if I sold the kids out, then I was gonna spend a lot more time in lockers. I felt. So I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. And then, as it turns out, and then you crack a couple of jokes, and people are fine. I usually find humor is the best way to deal with these things. Of course, humor is what got me in the locker in the first place. But that's beside the point. Anyway, so 3 times I got locked in a locker. It wasn't the same locker. It was different lockers. So you should know. One of them had a very old gym bag in it. It was horrible. It was like a garbage one. It was one that people didn't use. So people would just throw junk or stuff that they'd found lying around in the locker room. They just throw it in the. That was the one I got locked in. That was the most unpleasant. That was probably, yeah.
Okay, now this is
3 occasions.
making me bring up a thing.
Yeah.
If that happened and there was like drugs or something in there, would you get in trouble or would the person who has that get
So
in
like if
trouble?
I got locked in a locker that had crystal meth. I don't even know what crystal meth is exactly, but is that the stuff? What's the stuff that happens on Breaking Bad? Is that crystal meth?
Yeah.
Is it meth?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's say I get in there and someone's just being Breaking Bad. It's their Breaking Bad lab. And then they go, oh, we got David out of the locker. Wait a sec, what are you doing in there with all that crystal meth? Would I go to jail for that? It's a good question. Why not?
Because it's not your locker.
But I'm in it with the crystal meth.
So?
How could they link it back to the person who has the locker before? What if you brought it
How
in
could
and
they
it was like,
link it back to you?
Well, you're standing
You're
in it.
So?
I
Why would
have
you be
to-
locked in your own, no.
Okay, Wolf Pup's got to go and do crystal meth.
Stumble across
No,
a
I
dead
have to
body.
go
and then
eat.
instantly-
You gotta go
Yeah,
eat?
We will be back.
It's like if
All
you're
right,
saying
have fun, Wolf Pup.
There's a dead body in just some random person's house, and you accidentally went into their house,
Yeah.
and then they found a dead body. You wouldn't be arrested.
Yeah, absolutely you would. That's like every single detective novel I see. I mean, show that I
That's
see.
so stupid.
No.
Isn't it like you walk
Happened
into
in
a...
real life.
Wait a sec, what about that girl in the woman in Daredevil? They found her with a dead body, and they accused her of murder.
It's really not looking good when using a sci-fi movie as evidence.
If you're using a Marvel TV series as
Yeah.
as legal precedent, I think that's the problem though. Like there's people get arrested for things because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, right?
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I feel
Look,
like
Ank
the
is saying
locker
if you
was-
find a dead body, congrats, you're now the first suspect. There you go.
Yes, but I don't think you'd be arrested.
Mm.
Like, I highly, highly doubt that you can be arrested for just, like, being accidentally in a locker with crystal meth in it.
How would you look that up? Is there a way to look that up? Like, how would you, I'm not sure how you'd look for precedence on that. I think you would have to have had. Sorry, I think you would have had to tell on those kids if you got caught with meth in the locker. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. You get arrested until they get more information. Yeah, there you go. Like I think in the States, certainly, well, maybe in Canada. I don't know why I would just be in the States,
No,
but
okay, maybe the murder one was a bad example, because that's, like, very extreme.
right. But if someone stashed drugs in your locker, you would be
Then
this
you'd be the first one. Yeah,
exactly.
but you're saying you're in a random-ass locker, and you
Right.
get locked in it.
It really was an ass locker because there was the old bag in it, so it did have a definite ass smell to it.
Thank you, Dad,
Yeah.
for telling me that.
So I'm in a random ass locker, and then I'm in a random ass locker with Breaking Bad.
Fucking
Yes.
bad.
You
Okay.
would not be arrested for it.
Are there drugs at your school?
Probably. Why
Yes.
would we know? Huh?
Well, no, but I just is it something that you would like? No,
Yeah, why
because
would I know?
when I was at school, I didn't do drugs, but I saw kids doing them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were usually
there are.
smoking stuff,
Yeah.
and it smelled like a skunk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never really liked
What
it.
would that be?
That would be the Mary Jane, I believe. But and do they do all the anti-drug stuff like they do? They used to do all these like terrifying anti-drug things to us, like don't do drugs or you'll die right away, and or you'll crash a
I don't
car even if you don't know how to
think so.
drive and all that stuff.
No, I haven't got one of those yet.
Really?
Yep.
There's no anti-drug message stuff for you guys?
No.
Uh-oh. I better make you guys watch some movies. Okay.
Well,
I-
our schools.
I guess that must have been for old timers. Oh, wait a sec. Is it different now that it's legal here?
Probably a little bit.
How old do you have to be legally smoking the Mary Jane?
18.
Yeah,
How 18?
that's also-
Is it the same as drinking?
think
Is
so.
drinking the same?
Yes.
Drinking is 19.
Is there drinking at school?
Dad,
Not
stop asking us
that
questions.
much.
We
Not
wouldn't know, okay?
No.
that you see.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, but I mean, like, I knew kids who drank at school, not all the time, but every so often they'd get drunk at school. And I knew kids who used to get stoned at school. I didn't do it. I just, I used to drink, but not like at school. And smoking cigarettes, of course, you get in a lot of trouble for smoking cigarettes. But I did that too, which is a stupid thing to do.
Only vapes.
Only vapes. Are vapes?
Maybe.
But vapes are still. They've discovered that vapes are bad for you too, right? Don't kids like suddenly drop dead because of vape things, related things?
Yeah, vapes are.
Like a lot of that might have been with like off-brand stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard there was like some. There was like apparently there was like some of the
No one really knows
the
like,
vape
long-term
juice.
effects.
Right.
A pretty new thing.
I can't believe that inhaling anything into your lungs that smells like cotton candy is good. I can't imagine in any world where that's like, yeah, it's really good for you, actually. Everyone should inhale more cotton candy. You know what I mean? It feels like it would just be the wrong thing to do. I always just felt like, I just felt like my life was difficult enough for me to work out that I didn't need any help making it more difficult, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways, is David telling us to eat any evidence that could be held against us when locked up in a locker? Yes, Gimpy G. That's exactly it. I mean, the gummies are so delicious. Yeah, the gummies are scary apparently because they look like gummies. Kids are going like, gummies, and eating all these gummies. And of course, if they're edibles, then they're getting, obviously it's very dangerous. So you got to be careful on that too. Oh my God, I sound like such a grown up, don't I?
Yeah.
And that's why drugs are bad. Stay in school, kids. Okay, I'm not sure you should eat the crystal meth. Yeah, I think that would probably be
What?
bad. I think that'd be a
What
bad
am
idea.
I going to?
Yeah. Oh, hey!
Hi.
Speaking of crystal meth, how are you, Katie?
Drugs.
I'm good, thank you.
I made the mistake of asking about whether there were drugs in school because I was just curious to know whether that was something that was happening at school, and then
Like we know.
no, but
Of course we know.
but I was like the biggest nerd on the planet, and I saw people doing stuff like
I've
that.
heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it happen. It's not like they're doing it in geography class or anything. How are
All
you?
the time in geography class, but I didn't see it.
How the heck are you, Kat?
I'm doing okay. I'm starting some like really important exams soon, which kind of sucks.
Oh,
yeah.
which ones? What are they called?
GCSEs.
And what does that mean?
They're like secondary school exams.
Oh, so
to
they'll,
go
they'll
to, like a college and stuff.
so they'll count
yeah.
towards going to university and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like a college, but yeah.
So what do you got to take?
I mean, you get to pick out of like the subjects. So I picked like art, computer science, and yeah,
I said art, computer science, and yeah.
and business. But I hate business so much. So
Really?
It's so boring.
What? How can business be boring? You could be a billionaire.
It's so
Business
painfully
is
boring.
horrible.
Is it really?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
it can
Well,
be
okay. So what? But what? Like, what do they tell you? But you could be. I thought business was interesting. I listen to business stuff all the time because I want to hear about how people got rich and famous and stuff.
But in school, they make it boring. Because in
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
In school, they don't talk about how people are rich and famous. They talk about what credit cards to use and
What?
well, they don't even talk about that. That's not even
no,
useful.
not
They
even
never
you
talk about
stuff.
that.
They tell me like
Yeah.
what they use to make shoes.
Really?
That
and
they
why
did tell us
it's bad
that.
for the environment.
Wait. Okay. Wait a second. So, but I don't understand. But they think you're all going to become shoemakers? What? I don't understand. Like, what are they teaching you? All right, Kat. What are they? Okay. So give me an example of a business class for you, Kat.
We did like this like practical, I guess, where we had to like learn how to like run like an ice cream stand. It was weird, but we had to like Google like flavors and prices and like what to charge and how to make like the most profit, but also
Did you get,
get
like, ice cream,
paid
at
and
least?
advertise and stuff like that.
We had to play a game.
Huh?
Like a lemonade stand
On a
game.
lemonade stand.
That was the best.
Yeah.
You did
I
a
was the
lemonade
best.
stand?
I was the best
Baz was good at the
lemonade
lemonade stand game.
I was 20 higher than the last person.
Why?
Baz got a
'cause
shout out in my class.
Really?
I got a shot. I was so good.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like over a span of a week, you have to make the most profits, right?
Right.
Start at like $20, and you have to like set your pricing for ice and for like lemons and for sugar, stuff like that. And like you have to change that depending on if it's like sunny or cold, or if it's like popular or stuff like that. I don't really know.
Right.
But it's like, and then at the end of the week, you have to like see what your like net profits were, and I got like $70, which is like huge, or like 90
How?
or something. I don't remember.
What did you do different?
I'm just a genius. Like that's what I said.
And
This is
humble
natural
too.
ability.
So humble.
And
Actually-
humble.
But do you know
I-
why you did
it-
well? Even your mother is laughing at you, Ham.
Is she laughing at? Oh.
Well,
damn.
it sounded like she was laughing at you.
It's because I'm pretty sure I had like the perfect price for like lemons and stuff. So the only thing I really had to change was like, I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Wait a second,
wasn't
and he
really-
got a shout out for selling lemonade.
No, Dad, I don't think you understand. Like, the last person was like 50. That was their max. And
Huh.
I got like a 90.
But wait a second, but how did you do? Is this was in a simulation or not? Like, how do you
Yes.
know?
And
Oh.
skill.
God. How did you do, Kat, with the ice cream selling?
I
Oh, sorry.
didn't do that well. I kind of focused too much on like advertising and stuff that I didn't focus more on like profits and stuff. So yeah.
You focused on advertising, but not on. But doesn't the advertising help the profits?
Yeah, but like I didn't really focus on like a specific like selling point, I guess.
Huh.
So yeah, I didn't do
Oh, Dad
too
didn't do
great.
business class.
Baz, did you do advertising as well?
Nope. At least I don't know.
Baz was
Yeah.
selling meth. That's what he was doing. He's pretending he
Yeah.
calls it lemonade.
I am Walter White.
He's calling it lemonade. He's running the Walter White lemonade
Yeah.
stand, is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Whereas poor Kat's actually trying to sell ice cream.
I am the one who knocks.
Yeah.
Didn't even watch the show.
I watched it a little bit, like 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, I gotta say,
You got that right. You got the joke?
I would totally watch that again with you. Oh my god, are you kidding? Jane and I, your mother and I, we loved that show. Oh yeah, we love that show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. It's a perfect kids show for learning how to do business.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. So, Kat, wait a second. So you didn't do so well because you spent all your money on advertising. What did you like? Hire a bunch of YouTubers and stuff? Like, what kind of advertising you do?
Like the only ones we were really allowed to do was like newspapers. It was stupid.
What?
And like just yeah.
Who the hell uses a newspaper anymore?
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Did you have to fax in the ad? Did you have to send a fax with the ad information to the newspaper,
On a rock.
or did you just telegram it?
It was like I don't know. It was kind of I don't know. It was just dumb.
Okay, so how would you
Then it
teach
was
that
like-
instead?
What do you mean?
How? Okay, let's say if you had to do that again, that class again, and you could choose. So you have to do something that shows you could make money. How would you do
Yeah.
it differently? What would you do instead?
I mean, I would probably I guess allow more realistic advertising solutions and like insist more on things that will actually bring in customers without advertising so much.
Hmm.
So that advertise for themselves, I guess. I don't like all vegan stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah,
You weren't allowed to do all vegan? That would have been smart. Vegan
No.
ice cream?
yeah.
Really? So you're not allowed to choose. So you had no choice in the products you were selling, even though that's probably the
Not
biggest.
really.
But that's the biggest
just
part of
kinda had to,
business, isn't it?
Sell to our classes, I guess, about it.
But the biggest part of a business is what you sell, and surely that should be your.
Yeah.
Or am I just being an idiot? I feel like you should be able to choose what you're selling if you're going to have to come up with a business. All right, so
I
if you
guess it was.
go
I
ahead, go
guess
ahead.
it was more about being able to just sell your product, I guess. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so if you could have had your choice of anything to sell or any business to be doing, what would you be doing?
It'd definitely be something eco-friendly or vegan. 'Cause
Right?
I feel
Are you
that's
vegan?
very a lot of news articles like advertise stuff like that on their own. So like,
Are
rather
you
than pay
vegan?
people-
Are you vegan now?
No,
Oh, you're not vegan,
no.
but you're interested in
There's
vegan.
no way I could currently because my mom's very like Asian and doesn't really quote unquote believe in that stuff.
She doesn't
So-
believe in vegan stuff
Yeah,
because what traditionally it's all meats and
yeah.
and what traditionally what does she prepare? What sort of stuff does she normally eat?
Traditionally they break the chicken's necks at the village. So
Really?
yeah,
Like in front of you
Yeah.
before they make the stew type? Really?
more or less, yeah.
Oh wow! So if you want chicken in your soup, you got to go kill the chicken.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever see that there was Gordon Ramsay did a thing with his kids where he raised turkeys with the
Oh.
kids, and then they took the turkeys off and had them butchered and all the rest of it. It is difficult. I mean,
That
I-
sounds great for a kid.
but I definitely feel like there's a
Life
disconnect.
lesson.
I feel like there's a disconnect between me and that stuff though, because like I eat bacon all the time, but I want a pig. You know what I mean? And once I've got a pig, I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to eat bacon again, or maybe I will.
I would eat bacon in front of the pig.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh god.
You know they used to
Prove the
feed.
nonsense to the pig.
Eat
They
the
used to
pig
feed
bacon.
scraps to pigs, and some of those scraps were pig, right? Isn't that how the mad cow thing happened? Didn't they feed cows to cows?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of. Yeah, I think there was like some of the sort of stuff left over from the slaughterhouse was fed to the back to the cattle, and that's how they got it. So interesting. He raised sheep too. Ramsey did. Yeah, I mean, yeah. How funny would it be if you for your business thing you actually did like the whole Walter White thing, like just set up an entire like do you think you'd go to jail for that? Would the teacher? You know.
Where it's like start your own business.
If you set up a
and then-
meth lab, yes, I think you'd go to jail.
You'd probably go to jail for that. I mean, even a virtual pretend one.
I mean, if you're not actually cooking meth.
Maybe the teacher would be like concerned, but I'm sure that you'd allowed to do it.
I just think it's shocking that you're not allowed to, not that you would choose that, but I think it's shocking that you weren't allowed to choose your own business.
Yeah.
Because then potentially you could have a class, like out of a class of how many people are in your class? 20, 30? What do you got?
Yeah.
So, I mean, out of that many people, there might actually be some really good business ideas there. Right?
Yeah.
And you get started now, next thing you know, you're like freaking Elon Musk by the time you're like the Elon Musk of ice cream by the time you get to vegan ice cream by the time you get to by the time you're finished your whatever those tests are. When do you have to do the test, by the way?
Next year, but like the mocks are soon. So yeah.
Oh, so you do fake ones first?
Yeah. So if anything happens, like they can like go on those results.
R-
Like COVID and stuff. So yeah.
Right. Do they have the same kind of rules as they have here, which is basically saying that if you, because of COVID, they're basically trying not to fail people?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. They're trying not to be too tough on you because there's,
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, so it's funny that you guys are both doing so basically across the world at between the ages of 15 and between the ages of 15, 16, we're looking at? We're like 14 to 15. We're doing business at school. That's like because I never did business at school. There was no business class at school for me. We had economics, but not business. We used to do stock
We have
trading.
economics here, but maths.
Oh, I'd have to do stock
No.
trading.
The stock stuff is interesting but it's, I mean, I still feel like it's basically game.
I was really good. I won by like a large margin.
Did you? What did you buy? GameStop before it got memed up?
I shorted it.
Did you?
Yeah,
You depressing.
because I think I
Wow.
started with 100,000,
And you shorted it.
125,000.
How does shorting work? You're borrowing.
It's like you're betting against it, kind of.
I know, but I never understand the
Like-
mechanics of that. Like, how does that actually? If you're shorting something, you are saying it's going to go
I
down.
think you're
So how
borrowing
do
it
you?
at a certain price
Right.
and then selling it back at the new price, kind of. Or not.
Ah.
Wait.
Assuming it's going to
No,
go
like-
down, they're going to buy it back from you at the price you bought it.
Yeah.
So
That's
you're
what it is.
borrowing the stock because someone said that you can
I
get.
think-
I've heard that you can get in a lot of trouble with shorting because you can get very expensive very quickly.
Mm.
Plants vs Zombies going away for a land sale.
What was that?
So nothing. Not at all.
All right, Baz is in his own little
Not
world.
at all. It's not at all important.
Okay. So
Probably
basically,
very important.
oh, here you go. So basically, you sell rented shares and buy them back later while paying a small rental fee. So you rent. How does that work though? So you're selling rented shares. So you say, I want to borrow your shares and sell them to someone, so that when I buy them back, I will buy them for cheaper than I sold them for. That's basically what you're doing, right? But what happens if people don't want to buy them? Like, what if it's like Netflix and it's like a total free fall and you're screwed? So then what do you do?
I also shorted Netflix, so I wouldn't know.
What?
This win.
That was you? That was your fault? You know, I bought Netflix while it was going down. It's still going down. Yeah. I made a lot of money on them going up, so I feel like I'm allowed to lose a little bit on them. And I don't know. I still feel like the worst comes to worst with Netflix. Someone's going to buy Netflix, right? Like Disney will buy them or
I don't know.
I would think so. I mean, you know.
They're like big enough.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because the reality is like Apple has other ways of making money. So like they can totally fail making TV shows, but they still make phones and stuff and computers and things and iPads. So they don't really need the TV. Like I feel like a TV is almost like a hobby for them. And then to some extent Amazon as well, right? Because Amazon just wants to sell you stuff on Amazon.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure Prime Amazon is like a very small percentage of their business.
And I only signed up for them because it gave me the next day delivery thing originally.
Yeah.
But now I
That's
actually
the main reason.
Yeah. Now I actually watch it once
So
in a
your
while.
subscription gives you a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So, Kat, how's that part of the world doing? We lost her.
Huh?
I was just saying, how's your part of the world doing?
I mean, fine.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
still? Are people still doing lots of Brexit talk and stuff?
I don't really know. I don't really pay attention much to the news, I guess.
Hmm. You're too busy reading the newspaper ads. Okay, so you don't really like knowing what's going on in the world. What about? Are they talking about
I mean, I
Ukraine?
care about like other places in the world because it's interesting,
Like
but
Ukraine?
not really about like Brexit and stuff, I guess.
How about Ukraine?
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Like, it really sucks.
It's just
The
depressing, isn't
city
it?
I am is hosting a lot of Ukrainians right now.
Oh, who is?
The city I'm in.
Oh,
We're
yes.
hosting a lot of Ukrainian people right now, which
Yes.
is really great.
It's funny. There was I haven't actually listened to it yet, but apparently the New York Times did a thing where they were talking about the difference in treatment between Ukrainian, not immigrants. They would be called, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? If you try to escape from a country, you are a refugee. So Ukrainian refugees versus Mexican refugees in the States. So apparently there's the treatment, but the difference in treatment between Mexican refugees and Ukrainian refugees is apparently shocking, like absolutely shocking. The Ukrainians are treating much better than the Mexicans because I'm guessing because of the color of their skin. I don't know, or because of America's traditional beliefs about this. I don't know what the deal is, but I just thought it's just it's a horrible world if people are just constantly trying to run away from things like that. But
Yeah.
so Ukraine. So we've got a lot. So you've got a lot of Ukrainians being hosted there. That's good. It's hard though.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be tough to show up in a new country. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
speak the language. How do you get a job? How do you look after yourself while you're there? What are they doing for people while they're there?
I have no idea, to be honest. I just know because I made some like friends because I go like ice skating a lot now.
Mm-hmm.
I made a load of friends who like I knew in the area.
And they're from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool. You know, you want to talk.
Quite a few of them can speak English, so yeah.
It sort of makes sense. English is not universal, but it's quite a well. I mean, of all the languages, it's probably the more likely that they're going to know that than so. Although I guess a lot of them speak Russian too, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think there's a fair amount of. Well, there was. I think right now it's become a point of it's like a political point of pride now, right? It's like no, I want to speak Ukrainian. I don't want to speak Russian. I think that's a big, I mean, again, that's a big part of the whole, when you attack a country, you don't want to speak their language, right? You'd rather speak your own.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I sort of can't get over it that it's happening now. Like, I just didn't think we'd ever live through a war like this. I thought we were kind of done on that. I thought we'd sort of got that out of our system by now, but. And is it affecting, how about fuel and stuff? Isn't there because you guys are like an island. You're big on getting fuel delivered and stuff, right? Are things more expensive?
I don't really pay attention and with driving and stuff. I got start. I think I learned in a year or 2 years, which is terrifying.
How to drive?
But, yeah.
Sweet. It's not so much the learning how to drive isn't so hard. It's just the learning how to deal with everyone else on the road. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
There's people like me driving out there.
Well.
And what was that?
And having the confidence to drive.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what I did was, first off, I failed my driver's license about 4 times. And when I finally got it, I got on a plane and I went to LA and I rented a car. And the first time I drove by myself was in rush hour traffic in LA, in a city that I didn't know. And I'll tell you, after that, you can do, but you're like, yeah, whatever, fine, I can drive. But I'm still a nervous driver. I still prefer, I would rather, again, like I've said before, I'd much rather have an autonomous vehicle than I don't want to drive. I want the car to drive for me.
Yeah, I don't want you to drive either.
Thank you, Baz. Thank you for your vote of support. As always, Baz, Mr. Positivity about my parenting. All right. So, Kat, so you've been crazy busy.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah. Are you back at school now? Are you all fully back at school in person?
Yeah.
Do you ever talk to Cal?
Yeah. A lot still.
I'm so sorry. I'm so oh man, that's a drag. So you just can't get rid of her, huh?
Oh yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it's her birthday today, right?
Wait, what?
Is it actually?
No.
No.
Every single stream that I ever do.
I wanted to call him old.
Every single stream that I ever do now, I claim that it's her birthday because she hates it when people sing happy birthday to her. So basically every stream I ever do, I claim that it's her birthday. And I forgot that you haven't been around, so you wouldn't know that. Yes, Cal is lovely. We love Cal. I want Cal to get a job in Canada. I think she should move to Canada and come and hang out here. Okay, so and you're skating.
It's that easy to just pick up and leave.
Well, she doesn't have kids. She doesn't have kids or a pet, does she? Does she have cats or anything? No, I feel like she's a cats person. Does Cal have cats? You wish? Really?
I love cats so much. Oh my god.
They're horrible.
What?
Did you know that if you died alone in your apartment with a cat, they'd eat your eyes first?
Yeah, but I feel like dogs. It's it also just depends on what kind of cat.
No, dogs.
They have their own
I like
personality.
them both.
Dogs start at your
And they're both
toes.
even.
Dogs
I think
start at your toes and
arguing
chew up.
over animals is just okay.
Very not pointless, and it will get you far.
Yeah, it'll get you very far.
There's a lot of Cats fans out there, and all I have to say is they're wrong. But that's that's me. I used to have 7
Now we should
cats.
argue about it more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
That's
honestly, I think this is really gonna help us out.
this is an argument that you can win.
This is a very useful conversation.
Cat, I used to have 7 cats.
Oh my god, cute.
But I
was
was
allergic to all of them.
I was incredibly allergic, and I had one cat that used to pee on everything. Yeah. The first computer I ever owned, Lord Chunky, the first laptop I ever owned, probably one of the first affordable laptops for that matter. I called my friend up on the telephone, on the landline, and I said, "Hey, dude, I'll meet you at the cafe. Let's write." Because I thought, this is it. We're going to go to a cafe, and we're going to smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and write movies. And I put my computer down when I went off to call him, and I came back, and I went to and then I grabbed it, and I went off to the cafe, and I pulled it out, and I put it on top of the table, and it was sort of sticky. and the cat had peed on my new laptop.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean that kind of weird spray pee that they do, which is just so horrible. Yeah, there you go. So whenever
Yeah.
I think of my first laptop, I have this slight sense memory of like cat spray. There you go. That's a little that's why I don't like cats.
But you can train cats.
Hmm?
But cats can be like cats use their boxes. You can train cats.
Oh
It
no,
just takes longer normally.
he was trained. Max was totally trained. He just every so often he just sort of I don't know. He was like just out of
His name was Max?
yeah. His name was Max.
Okay, I'm using that.
His name was Max, and then
He peed and everything.
but then he died, and I was so upset that I was like I don't want any more cats. You know,
That's why you don't like cats?
because
You
they
want them
die.
died?
Because they die. Yeah. No, I don't like cats because they spray on my new
That's
computers.
not why you don't.
And they make me sneeze, and my eyes go all big and bulgy like goldfish. Like it's
Yeah,
not.
That's not the cat's fault.
It is totally the cat's fault. If it wasn't there, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, but you
Maybe I get a
know.
hairless. I'll get a hairless cat.
Oh my god, I actually really like those cats.
Seriously,
They're so funny looking.
the Dr. Evil cats?
The like naked ones are so.
Not sure how I feel about those cats.
I feel like if you're gonna have a naked cat, they should have like some kind of like a bikini on or something. Like they should be like if you're gonna shave the poor cat like that or whatever it I mean, it just seems wrong in every way.
Shave.
They should have like a little bathrobe that they wear all the time because they just be cold.
Yeah, like so most of them have like little jumpers and it's so cute.
Oh God, Cat, you're no longer welcome here. I don't know what happened to you. Something's changed. You've been talking to Cal too much. That's the
My
problem.
name is Cat, and you thought I wouldn't like cats.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
about to say.
that's a good point.
Isn't it
I thought it was ironic.
kind of ironic to be a dog
Yeah.
person and have your nickname as Cat?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just thought you were anti-cat. That was enough. We got a first-time chat again from Russian Oral. Russian Orel? Russian, I don't know. Dr. Meredith Rodney Mckay. Ty, thank you, I guess that is, very much for good childhood from SG, from Russia with love. Right back at you.
Wish Dad gave me a good childhood.
Yeah, if only I could. I just can't, though. He's just such a horrible child. It's impossible to give him a good childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
That's
grave,
cool.
grave disappointment to me.
You turn
Um,
that on.
Yeah. Yes. And yes, we welcome Russians here because I believe that it's Putin's war, not Russia's. That's my question. I think it's the damn leader. People talk about countries. The reality is it's not the country that makes these decisions. It's the idiots running them. Anyways, okay, there you go. That's my little political stance right there. Okay,
Dad,
what?
you solved. No, I'm just.
I've solved nothing. No, I know. I just worry because I feel like there's so much anti-Russian sentiment right now and I totally understand it, but at the same time I feel like, you know, our countries make terrible decisions, and those are political decisions. I don't think they necessarily reflect the people who live in those countries, and that's anyways, I don't know. It's funny. I listened to a TED Talk a little while back, and they were talking about the planet. And no, it wasn't. That wasn't a TED Talk. It was Mika. It was Mika on Dial the Gate. Oh, you missed this, Cat. This amazing woman who did all the technical stuff on Stargate. She was the mathematician and helped us out with the science and stuff. Amazing. So she does science communication now stuff. I was saying she has the job of one of her jobs is she goes to parties for rich people and talks science with them.
Oh wow.
Isn't that weird? Like, it's kind of a
Yeah.
great job, though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're just getting paid to like talk to people about stuff you're interested in.
Yeah. Like, that would be and you're getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Damn, I got to get smart. If I could get smart, I could go to parties like that, too. If I had to go to a party right now, people would want me to dress up like Stargate, which I would just be embarrassed to, it would just be sad. Oh boy, now I've got everyone talking about the politicians instead of the there you go. Commander Cotton Fluff. Question. Oh, they got a question. What did you enjoy the most acting in? From Norway. Norway. I want to go to Norway. I really want to go to that whole Scandinavian section there, whatever it's called. Scandinavia. I'd love to. God, that just seems like, it seems cold, but beautiful. Like me. Cold and beautiful. Okay. Put on your Dr. Mckay hat. That's right. I've got to go dress up like Dr. Mckay and go to a party. Okay. Did I hit all my science points? Has anyone got anything that they've seen recently that's interesting? Lord Chunky, you were saying that I should be more interested in the AMD graphics cards right now or something?
I mean, no one actually knows. So, yeah.
What do you mean
The
no
other
one
day,
knows?
When we were walking to school.
Hmm.
The
And
other day, it
people-
was like a month ago.
Sorry,
it was
like,
a month ago.
Was it? I'd say like a week.
Yeah, wait till you get to my age, you start saying things like yesterday, and someone will
I
say
was
like that
mostly
was
joking.
10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It
Yeah.
wasn't too long ago. I'd say it was recent enough.
No.
Okay, so
please,
1,000
But
years
you
ago,
were
while you were walking
walking
your
to
dinosaurs to
school?
school,
no.
yeah.
No.
No? Okay, I won't say it.
Oh, okay.
But what? What was it?
And he said no. He said no. I don't.
What?
wanna-
I didn't say anything. No.
Oh,
Okay.
no? Okay, damn.
I mean,
It was funny.
fine. You just say it.
Okay, so we were walking to school, and then some kids are talking about the 3050 Ti's.
Ugh.
And then,
Well,
Boo.
no,
while
one
we
kid
were
said there is
walking-
no 3050 Ti.
Is there not?
Check. Yeah.
Are there not?
No, there
Well,
is.
apparently some kids are
Laptop
talking
only.
about it. And
Oh,
then,
they're laptop only. I see. Okay.
And then while we were walking by, he was like, "Oh, it's only for laptops." It's like sort of. It's very.
Not how
You
I
a-
said it, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? I would do the same thing.
He's like, while they were walking by, some random. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting. Sorry, I'm not backing you up on that. I would totally say that.
I'm not backing you up.
Yeah, I'm not
saying-
backing
I'm
you
just
up either.
saying it was-
Deep, 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 deep. Sorry. So you're saying he should have just let that go?
No. Yeah.
Spreading
No.
misinformation.
That's misinformation.
God.
You should have said that. Fake news. You know, I played Magic against someone yesterday with Gimpy G, whose name was Fruck. No. Truck Frump. I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Speaking of politics. Okay, so 3050 Ti is only in laptops. So and that generally means they're underpowered, right?
Well, it depends on the manufacturer, but yes, they'll have less power than a desktop chip.
Is that just because they're just not big enough? Like
Because
they
you
just
can't cool them as much, you can't deliver as much power in a laptop. There's just a lot of reasons.
really? I mean,
Yeah.
you should see the freaking brick that I've got. You've seen my computer, right? I've got a 2070 in mine, and it's like
Yeah, but I'm sure that 2070 draws a lot less power than my desktop 2070.
Maybe. Although you should see the power adapter I've got on this thing. It's kind of a ripoff. Like it's like a lovely, sleek, cool LEDs and all that kind of stuff, gaming laptop. And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna pack up and leave. The freaking brick is like bigger than the laptop. So it's like they can show you this sexy little
Charging brick, right?
Yeah, the charging brick. So like they show you this sort of sexy little thin laptop that you'll be playing with. Except that if you need to plug it in, you've got to plug in like a freaking cinder block.
I don't mind the size of the brick. It just goes under my desk.
Ugh, it bugs the hell out of me because the whole point of it is you want it to be portable, right? It makes me
And
want
there's
to.
cables everywhere, so
That's true. Yeah, that
it
is
always
true.
sees that.
It's true. Cables everywhere. It's true. It is true. Okay, so but you're saying that you don't know, but you think that it may be worth looking at AMDs. You know, Nvidia got in a lot of trouble for claiming that they'd sold all these gaming. Did you hear about
but
this?
they're all for mining.
Yeah. But why would they lie about that? I'm not sure why that would, why does that help them? What does it matter? They still bought them. People bought them.
I guess, but it shows that their revenue isn't coming from where they said it was.
So if the revenue's not coming from where they say it was, they're saying that if they if people go off Bitcoin and everything, like right now, there's it seems to be kind of a meltdown in NFTs and all that kind of, people are just bailing on all that silliness.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I've decided I'm not going to make I've got a bunch of these TechBandit coins. I've decided to make them totally fungible. Instead of non-fungible tokens, I'm going to make them fungible. So basically, I'm just going to sell the coins, I think. That's what I'm going to have to do. I got to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I'll got to figure out how to, sell coins. It's that Crazy Canuck says 3080 plus 3080 Ti plus 3090 plus 3090 Ti graphics card for desktops can be bought. You can buy them now?
You could buy them for a while.
But not for a reasonable price.
No, still not for MSRP.
It's still crazy prices, right? Kat, are
AMD
you...
cards are at our value.
What are?
AMD cards are at the MSRP.
They're at... Really? They're at the manufacturer price? But you don't have ray tracing and stuff like that, though, do you? Is that...
They do have ray tracing.
They do?
Yep.
So why aren't people
It's
buying
not
those?
quite as good as NVIDIA's, but it's still pretty...
So you were saying if you were going to buy a GPU right now, you would buy an AMD?
100%, yes.
Really? Because they're less...
Yes.
They're priced less and they're Just as powerful.
faster as well.
Are they any good at AI and stuff?
No, they're not as good for that.
See, that's what I want it for AI. Because I needed to get smart enough to do, my driving for me. Kat, question for
Yeah?
you. What are you playing now? What games are you playing now?
I mean, honestly, I'm still kind of just like playing on Minecraft and stuff.
Really?
Also, because my laptop can't really handle anything else. So
So Minecraft, really? Okay, because it's funny because Baz has gone back to Ark recently, right? Is that right, Baz? Is that be safe to say?
Not quite yet.
Tried to, not really.
Now we're playing Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Best game.
OMG, that's right. Aren't you guys gonna start like a? You wanted to start
Pro
like a?
League?
OMG.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kat, get this. The guys want to start a pro league Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever played Plants vs Zombies, Kat?
probably on like some like mobile app.
No, but this is Garden Warfare, so this is
Uh-huh.
like the third-person shooter
Oh.
version.
It
of
would
that.
probably run on your
We actually-
laptop.
We
you
haven't
know?
decided too much yet. We're either thinking we start our own league or we make a clan.
Yeah.
Gotta pick.
Like the Garlic Clan or something.
Like
what?
FaZe Clan, but Plants
Yeah, like
vs
Phase
Zombies.
Clan, but for exactly.
I just
You could
want
be
to
the-
say if that happens, I'm trying out.
You could be the Vase Clan
It's incredibly competitive. I don't
It's-
think they'll
That's
make it.
incredibly. It's only for the best of the best.
instead
so.
of the Phase
I mean-
Clan. You'd be like the Vase Clan because that's what you put plants in. You see?
What?
Yeah. See, that's humor. Anyways,
He's-
that's I think what we would call a dad joke.
I don't know
I
if I'm
just
supposed
didn't hear
to
what you
laugh
said.
at that or
Instead of
just.
the FaZe Clan, you'd be the Baze Clan. It's like
I said vase
a vase. Oh,
or vase,
makes
as
sense.
you'd say. I don't know what would.
I guess you put plants in those.
That's what I'm saying. It's Plants vs Zombie. You're the Vase Clan. Ah, forget it. Kat, you see what I've had to put up with while you've been away?
I
Yeah.
don't really like this idea.
You know.
Yeah, that's it.
But wait a sec. Could Plants vs Zombies run on Kat's laptop? Because if she's running old software anyways.
Maybe I don't know.
Possibly.
If you're a Minecraft player, I'm not sure if you'd want to play Plants vs Zombies. But
Baz-
sure.
Baz is now immediately backing out of his Plant vs Zombies
No,
thing.
I'm just saying it's not like okay.
It's huge. It's huge. It's going global.
Its current player base is like 3 people. I think I've gotten the same game with like the same 2 people like 100,000 times.
That's right.
But
That's
if
why.
we look at the statistics, it's doubled in size since a month ago.
But it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Kat's
the
gonna write an
fastest
article
growing
for her
game
local
right now.
paper.
Playing. Yeah, honestly, it's actually
We make up half the player base.
But
Hey,
Kat-
have you played the Neighborville one?
No, that one's awful.
No.
What's Neighborville?
We stick to the classics.
Yeah, we stick to the good ones.
Oh my God.
We're not.
You
we're
guys
not
sound like a bunch of old men already. Hello, bag of chips. Speaking of old men,
Hello.
pro old men, exactly. You could just bring your toxic, masculine plant, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Genius.
That's it,
Bring
genius. That's,
sexism into Plants vs Zombies.
Whoa.
Oh
So
my
smart.
gosh.
really? Is that the
Yes.
plan? That's really the plan?
You're really helping out our pitch for Plants
Our
vs. Zombies.
league.
Oh my God! Wait a sec. Yeah, we're all guys except Kat. Oh man.
Really guys.
You know what we have to do now, guys.
Man. See, this is what. So
No girls allowed.
we had
Man.
Elsa. Elsa popped in a little while back. She's been doing tons of skating. She's doing like competitive skating now, Kat.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. In fact, did anyone find out how well she did on her last? She was like training to do like. She's like just under Olympic level, isn't she, or something crazy like that?
Yeah, she said she's just under Olympic level, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
She
Wow.
needs like points or something to get to Olympic.
Yeah. Like she's points away from like Olympic level type stuff. And apparently her friends, who are probably not friends if you say it like that, I guess, say that she's like a nerd because she spends so much time doing
Yikes.
yeah. What is with kids? They're weird. Kids are weird. Just in general.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
I would never be called a nerd, right?
I like the opposite.
Guys.
Lord Chunky, you'd never be called a nerd.
I would never. No,
No.
never say that.
No,
That's-
no way.
I use nerd as a point of-
You'd be called a gym bro.
Is a gym bro. He's a total jock,
Yeah.
that Lord Chunky.
Oh, yeah.
Well, although I'll tell you, Lord
No,
Chunky,
I wasn't joking.
Lord Chunky's actually got the bike. He's got fancy bike. He's got. Are you guys? Are you
No,
joining?
I said I wasn't joking.
Oh, you're not. Okay, right. I was gonna say because I would say Lord Chunky's actually way more physically fit than I am. Well, that's not surprising.
Well,
Given
that's
that
not saying something.
I'm 1,000 years old. It's true.
And
Thank you,
And?
Baz. Where are you
I'll
going,
say
Baz?
it,
Where are you going with
I'll
that,
say it,
Baz?
I'll say it, I'll say it.
And what? Yeah, Baz has got to be nice to me because Mum's leaving tomorrow. So Jane is going to Cannes,
Oh,
the
back
film
to stay
festival.
up late grinding Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's
All day,
go.
no school, just Plants vs Zombies. Gotta
Wait a
get our
sec.
protein ready.
But wait a sec. But if I'm here, why would you think you'd get away with anything? I'm gonna be like really tough. You know how tough I am.
What? Yes.
I'm a disciplinarian
Yes,
guy.
sir.
I'm really tough, right? Yeah. Yes,
I'm
sir.
a
No,
teacher.
sir. Oh, how was your 2.5 hour math class where you're not allowed to pee?
Neither of us had it, Dad.
Oh, you
Like
didn't?
neither of us. We both said that we didn't have it today.
Oh, apparently Baz's math teacher, who I've affectionately termed, who is a math hole, will not
He was
let
very
them.
proud of that. He was very proud of that this morning.
He will
I
not.
find that funny.
I'm still very proud of it.
I
oh, yeah.
would just force myself to throw up.
Well, so apparently they're not allowed. They're not allowed to go to the bathroom while it's
only
math
Baz's
class.
It's only Baz's class.
Really?
At least so far. For me, it's not. It's completely fine.
Yeah, because his class doesn't talk.
Oh, you guys are You're talking about peeing? Why are you not allowed to go to the bathroom?
No, it's like kids will like leave class to go on their phone and stuff. Like to say
Yeah,
they're
that,
going to the
that
washroom.
happens at my school also.
It's
That's
it's
probably when they go to smoke crack. That's
No.
probably what they're doing.
No, Dad.
No.
I just go
The
with
other-
phone in class.
The other day, I went because I actually had to, and there was just like so much people just playing games in there. Like,
Oh,
that
really?
was in my class.
That at least it's not vaping. Honestly, just wait
Oh,
till.
yeah,
You
bro.
guys
Wait
know
Oh,
till
God.
I-
So,
people vaping.
Oh my God! It's like
Oh,
it
bad.
hurts.
Really?
it's
Yeah,
really- I found a vape on the schoolyard one time.
there's so many. There's like I found like this in the soap dispenser. There's like 3 vape canisters.
Oh, like when they're empty, they throw them out.
Like
Ooh, and they're gonna be all like
like-
biohazard too, right? Because they're gonna have like
Vape
their
stuff.
saliva in it.
no, like people will like sell vape stuff by like putting it in soap containers.
What? Really?
And then like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
put money underneath them.
No.
I didn't know that.
Is that really how it
I
works?
don't actually go to the bathroom though, so that's fine.
Well, maybe they're just doing a business class.
I'm selling vapes.
They're selling vapes. That's their business strategy. That's actually brilliant. They're selling a lot of it, obviously, because the bathrooms are full of the smoke. So obviously they're Kat, are they vaping at your school as well?
Oh my god, absolutely.
Really?
So
Yeah,
bad.
they're bad. It's like they're vaping everywhere.
What's
you
the
know?
appeal? I
In
just think it
middle
looks
school,
stupid.
People are doing it.
Yeah.
Is it just me,
I
or
still
does
did
it
in
look?
middle
It
school
looks
for me,
stupid to me.
But not as
Yay,
much.
flavored lung cancer.
Flavored lung cancer. That's pretty good. Hi, I'd like the. Can I get the cotton candy flavored death? Thank you very much. Really? So I didn't realize this was like a big thing. I mean, I know when I walk Mars. Oh. When I walk the other one, Huzzah, the dog, and I go across the bridge, I've stopped going if I leave too late because I get stuck with all the kids coming out of the whatever that arts school
Rosedale?
is.
Yeah.
Rosedale, and they are. You literally I'm just run off the sidewalk, and they're all smoking. They're smoking like cigarettes as well, and everything for that matter.
I've heard there's a lot of drugs there,
You think so?
even more.
Rosedale.
There are like
From what
it's
I've
not
heard,
like
yeah. The people I
yeah.
know, they go there.
FBI,
heavy
open up.
drugs.
Well, I probably look like a cop.
No, but drugs are cool, so it's fine.
What?
Yeah, no, crystal meth is cool.
Hey, come on, Lord Chunky. Drugs aren't cool.
Mm,
This is an after-school special.
you say that, but then drugs are cool, so you're wrong.
I like
Yeah.
the only drugs that are cool are vaccinations against COVID. Wow, we should do like an after-school special. We'd be good at this.
Hmm
You know, it's funny you should talk about drugs. What about vaccinations? All right, so really, all across the world, people under the age of 20 are vaping the vapes. And what are they vaping? Is it like nicotine?
Nicotine.
It's whatever's in vapes.
But why do you need nicotine in it? Like I don't like does nicotine is it to make them calm or something? I mean,
Why do they put it in cigarettes? I don't know.
Yeah, like
but that's I thought that was like a byproduct of. Isn't that a part of smoking a cigarette? Like you could have vapes without nicotine. I guess you could have cigarettes without nicotine too. I suppose. I mean, cigarettes don't make any sense at all either. Really, when you think
also
about
have
it.
coffee without caffeine.
Oh, God, that's disgusting. Really? They have cats without hair. That's interesting though. I didn't realize that it was so popular. If that makes sense, that people were still doing that. Do people smoke like real cigarettes anymore, like the old-fashioned cigarettes?
Yeah,
Not much.
I saw
Yeah,
one
nobody
person
touched
in front of us at
Not
lunch smoking
nearly.
a cigarette. But that
You
was like
did?
one person.
it's like no one though.
I guess you can't really get away with smoking a
I'd say
cigarette
more
in the
weed
school.
than cigarettes.
Much more. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so they're smoking weed, like actually lighting it on fire, smoking it, or they're not using vapes
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah,
I thought you could vape that stuff now.
you can, but it's not like through a normal vape. I'm pretty sure.
Really, it's like a special
Yeah,
vape.
no, you have to buy a special vape.
like a
and
dab
also,
pen or
it's already
something.
hard enough to get a vape.
Oh, really?
Sorry,
Like
not
you got to
that
be
I
a
know
certain
from,
age
like,
to get.
experience, but like,
But surely you could just order it online, couldn't you? Order like a vape online. No one's gonna ask for your ID then, are they?
Well, no, vapes are like a lot of corner stores will just sell them to kids, even though they're not supposed
yeah.
to.
Oh, that's like they used to
They
do
just
when I
don't
was a kid.
care.
Yeah, they used to sell me cigarettes when I was 14.
And you were stupid enough to buy them.
I know I was stupid enough to buy them. I was stupid enough not only to buy them but to smoke them too. I think about it now. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I thought, because I must have looked like such an idiot too. Because I was like this little kid with cigarettes. It would just been, and then I used to smoke too much and get sick. So I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I guess we just thought it was cool because of movies. Like in all the movies, everyone always smoked and it looked cool. And then I started watching. What was I watching recently? I watched this Tokyo Vice, and it's set in the 1980s, I guess. And so all the actors are smoking in it, but it just all of a sudden it just looks stupid now, right? Like because I'm so used to not seeing people smoke and stuff that now when they actually smoke in shows, I just feel like they just look dumb, right? Vapes are regulated here too at school, so they just smoke cigarettes outside of the gate. Really? But wait a second, vapes are regulated, but not cigarettes? There you go. Lost my grandma to it, and my uncle has advanced lung cancer now because of cigarettes. Oh, lovely. That's great. I'm so sorry. I never smoked because too many people in my family died from it. Yeah, but that's the funny thing is, I knew how awful it was back when I started, but I just
You're
had
just too cool to care.
That's what I thought I was. That's it. I thought I was too cool to care. Anyways, same thing with motorcycles. My father used to. So my father, being a doctor, would send me medical journals, would show me pictures of lungs after cigarettes and what people look like. Like they now put it on cigarette packages here, which I don't think they do. Do they do that where you are, Kat? They put pictures of bad lungs and things on them.
It's more like alcohol and brain stuff, but no one really cares.
Wait a sec. They put pictures of alcohol. What?
Like, because they say like alcohol like deteriorates your brain and stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, but no one really cares. So.
I mean, the joke was always when I was a drinker was always that you were, that was the whole point, was you're just like, you're kind of messing up your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be curious to know what the data on that is too. I mean, not to be like a total prude on this stuff. It's like not really cool not to like alcohol, but I sort of don't like alcohol because I feel like I spent a lot of money and time and did dumb things because of it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I kind of wish I hadn't. I wish like my wife is very good in that she can have like a drink or two when she goes out. And I was just never good at that. I was always like, is it finished yet? I'll finish it. Like I was just, but I'm like that with cheesies too. Or as the case is now with bubbles. Bubblies? Bubbly? What do we say? Buble? I love the, have you had this, Kat? Have you had the flavored waters? The bubbly flavored waters?
I think so, yeah.
They are the best. And probably we'll find out cancer-causing, addictive, and all the rest of it. But I'll tell you, I am totally addicted to the bubbles, which are just basically like lightly flavored waters. There's no sugar. And I am just like, that's all. I suck those things. Look, oh, God. COVID. See, I'm drinking one right now, in fact. The number of these I've poured on my keyboard is rapidly increasing. Oh, my God, it's after 5. Okay, I gotta wrap it up. I got to wrap things up. All right. So, anyone seen any science or tech that we need to talk about? Anyone seen anything good? Kat, any science, tech, gaming, anything?
Really?
Sims? You doing any Sims stuff?
Oh yeah.
How's that going? Is Sims is it still fairly popular?
Yeah. I
I'm
think
sur-
there's like a massive sale on Steam right now. It's like a $5.
What?
Or it's for free on Xbox Game Pass.
No. Is it?
What?
Wait a sec, Baz, I could be playing Sims?
Sims.
No, my
I could be like a creepy old guy on Sims?
Could be.
you have to log in under my account.
Well, that'd be even creepier. Hi, I'm Sebastian. You know, I'll tell you, Kat, I've been playing Magic the Gathering Arena with Gimpy G, my friend Lance.
Oh, cool.
And it's great because he walks me through the process. So basically, he's in my ear and I share our screen, and basically I cheat by having him help me out with all the cards, and it's so much fun. I'll tell you, that's a game. That is a game worth trying. I love it. Magic the Gathering Arena. It's great. But that said, I prefer it playing with him. Like, it's more fun playing with him than it is by himself. Lord Chunky, you are like, what is it like? Are you like,
I have terrible allergies. I don't know what it was.
like sucking back the pollen?
Yeah,
Do you take any antihistamines or anything?
I did.
I hate
Only
antihistamines.
for like a few days. I've heard maybe it takes like a couple days to really like work. I don't know.
They always make me feel kind of dopey. That's why I don't like them. And God knows I don't need to feel any more dopier than I am already. All right, anyone in the chat got any good tech stuff we should be talking about? I'm going to make a few feeble attempts at promises here. So what I've been trying to do is I'm trying to get a list of links out to people along with an announcement as to when we're going to do Tech Bandits. I'm also trying to be nice to my patrons who've been so incredibly kind and incredibly generous. So I like to give them the links as well. And then once I post it on YouTube, I will hopefully then have a link for everybody to see all the show notes and stuff. So that's the plan. And it's just sort of, I just feel bad that I do this Patreon stuff, and I know people are just helping me out with Tech Bandits, and that's fantastic. But I'd also, it would be nice if I could sort of help them out with a little bit of like early access of links and stuff, so they can read the articles before we get into the chat and stuff. They might have something to say. So I'm throwing that out there. And now I would love to know if anyone got any tech stuff we need to talk about while I'm here. All right. Oh boy, I'm way behind on the chat. Scrolling. Prusa bot printed what? What's this? Prusa bot printed what? Printed solid. What's that? What does that mean? What's that about? Only cheaters prosper. What's going on? What am I missing? Just the patrons or also the Twitch? Oh, I should do the Twitch subs too. How do I do that though? Is there a way to have Twitch subs? Actually, I'll have to ask Cal. Is Cal awake? Has anyone seen Cal?
They're awake, I think.
Cal, does she ever sleep? Is Cal? I think Cal might be a robot. I wonder, is there a way that we could allow Twitch subscribers access to the ZPM section of our chat on Discord or something like that? Is there a way to do that? I wonder if there is. I have seen the new photos of Sagittarius A. David. I'm David, right? Ank, we actually talked about it on the Dial the Gate thing on Saturday, so you should check that out for sure. USA 3D filament manufacturer printed solid ink has been bought by Prusa. I mean, I love Prusa, so whatever they do, I'm happy about it. How's that? So now Prusa has a foothold in the U.S. Well, that's good though, isn't it? I want them to have a foothold in Canada. That would be very convenient for me. Cal is just lurking. Is she? Or is she really pulling the strings? I think she might actually be. I think she might be the puppet master. She's probably Cat. Cat is probably just some. Cat is just being made up by Cal as somebody. You know, that's it. Cat is probably just Cal sitting there vaping, and pretending to be a student. It's probably what's happening. She's the real Walter White. Exactly. She's the Breaking Cal. Okay. It means direct sales in North America. Oh, that's good, I guess. I did not know that, but that's look. I love Prusa mainly because I think Josef Prusa is just a wonderful guy, and I love what they're doing. We can do conspiracy theories now. What do we got? We got good conspiracy theories. Anyone got a good conspiracy theory? Kat, any good conspiracy theories you've heard?
I don't know. I hear a lot.
Ooh, do you? About what specifically? Anything that jumps out at you?
I don't know. I hear so many because I like listen to like podcasts and stuff.
Oh
to,
yeah.
like, sleep.
Oh, what kind of
that I don't
podcasts?
really
Any
pay
good
attention to.
podcasts? What do you recommend for podcasts? You heard what are the good ones? What do you like?
I don't know. I just kind of listen to whatever's on Spotify.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah. I started listening to the Spotify ones as well. But you like this conspiracy theory podcasts on Spotify?
I think so. Yeah.
Huh.
Or
Okay.
on like YouTube.
Yeah. Well, this YouTube is a conspiracy
Yeah.
theory. Okay. So you like listening to that? And so what do you like? What's give us an example of one. Give me one. Or either a conspiracy theory or a conspiracy theory podcast. Or a YouTube channel that has conspiracy theories.
I don't know.
Pat,
I just.
Is anyone
I
else?
always fall asleep like halfway through, so I don't remember.
See,
well.
that's. Do you set the timer so that it stops after a while?
I don't actually know how to do that besides on Spotify. So.
I do that. It's great. So you can put your headphones on, and then it'll put itself to sleep. Except that then I wake up with my ears hurt because I've got my ear pods in. The Leafs are just doing it for the meme now. What's this? Conspiracy theory. Capitalism maybe isn't the best economic system for the 21st century. That's a conspiracy theory? That sounds like a theory. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, is it? Do you think Russia will take a swing at Finland now?
Haven't they been threatening to?
They have. I mean, he's been threatening. I mean, so Finland has basically said it wants to join the NATO. Yeah, exactly. Which I always get mixed up because I think of the North American Treaty Act, or whatever it is. I get that mixed up with the other one. But okay, so they want to join NATO, which makes sense because they've seen what Ukraine is. Because Ukraine is not in NATO, we've helped to some extent, but we've sort of stayed out of it for fear of starting a third world war.
Yeah.
And now, so Finland's got to be going like, we'd like to join, please.
Didn't Germany suggest Ukraine join NATO? Like recommended Ukraine for NATO?
They wanted to join, I thought. Wasn't that like? I thought.
No. I know that they wanted to join. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure Germany recommended like NATO. I mean, recommended NATO to Ukraine. How do I don't understand how to. I can't explain this well.
No. Try again.
Recommended.
Nope. Yeah.
Recommended to NATO that Ukraine should join. Is what I tried to say.
They want to, right? I think that's what they want to do. Like, but then I don't know how that would work in the middle of an invasion. Like, if you join, you can't really join NATO and go and then attack. I don't know. It feels to me like, I don't know. Okay. So, I mean, America's gone into the Middle East and other places many times for their own benefit with no need for any kind of rules for that. So it just seems funny to hear them talking about, we can't really be helping Ukraine because that'll just tick off Putin. You know what I mean? Yeah. NATO does not allow countries to join if they're in a conflict. Yes, there you go. Okay, I thought that might be the case. Okay, so if you're in the middle of it's a bit like saying you can't get health insurance while you're sick, right? You can't go you can't say, okay, here's my $50 for my first month. Oh, by the way, I have cancer and it's going to cost you $1 billion to get me better again. So I guess the idea is you can't say, okay, Ukraine's being attacked by Putin's puppets, and so we're going to join NATO and then everyone's going to protect them. That's not going to happen. That is interesting. I don't know. Do you think Russia will attack Finland? I feel like they're already pretty busy. You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing well with Ukraine right now, right? Didn't they just lose 60 tanks or something crazy? Bag of chips, you'll know this. Didn't they blow up a bunch of Russian tanks or something?
They killed 5 Russian generals and like 4,000 in the first like week. 4,000
Seriously?
soldiers in the first week or something.
Wow. And they've blown up a lot of Russian equipment too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the sense I sort of got this sense like they weren't really ready. Like they rolled in thinking it was going to be easy, and it hasn't. Again, this is why, you're talking about history. I think maybe if they'd read their history a little bit, they'd realize that Ukraine does not have a history of sort of just backing down on things, right? You know what I mean? Ukraine now has more tanks than when they started, as they keep stealing Russia's tanks. Really? Is that true? Wow. 1/3 of the Russian troops is done for. I mean, yeah. Ugh. It's just awful. I just think of like how many freaking people die. I mean, we worry about pollution. And we worry about pandemics, and then we shoot each other and blow each other up, and there's oil leaks, and we sink ships in the middle of the ocean. And I'm not saying you shouldn't protect yourself, but at the same time, I'm going like, what the frack are we doing to our planet? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine the pollution alone of war, let alone the loss of life and all the rest of it. Just the sheer amount of damage that a war must do is just insane. What is the sense where you are, Kat? Are people are people, obviously I'm guessing they're pro-Ukraine in this situation.
Yeah. There's a load of Ukraine flags around.
Yeah?
I think there's one literally my neighbour's hanging. So
Um,
there's so many Ukraine flags just around.
yeah, to show support.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should really get a Ukraine flag as well. There's an amazing documentary which is absolutely horrific because you watch people getting shot, but it was called I think it was called Fire in the Winter or something, and it was about Ukraine just before this, another sort of modern recent uprising on their part, and I couldn't get over how brutal the fight was even between Ukrainians. So, I mean, if I'd watched that documentary, the last thing on earth I would do is invade them. You know, because I just couldn't get over how they are so passionate about their country and having the right to do to join what they want to join and say what they want to say and all that kind of stuff. So, is it brought up at school at all, Kat? Does it come up at all?
Not really.
Isn't that weird?
They don't like talking about what's happening right now. I feel like just because the start of this, I was like very scared.
Do you think that's right? Do you think they shouldn't? Do you think
I think they definitely should.
I personally think they should, but I feel like they would possibly get into like legal trouble with that.
You think so?
Yeah.
They get in trouble for like freaking out the kids or type thing? But do you think their kids would be freaked out, or they just would be bored? I mean, it's hard to really understand war until you've like lost people, isn't it? I would think. But the weird thing is, so I saw an interview on CBC recently where, hey, Chris Pirillo. By the way, Chris Pirillo has an amazing channel, by the way, now, which you should all watch, which I love, which is, I can't remember the name of it. He's going to tell us, I'm sure. I'm hoping he will. I'm asking him to. Please, Chris. And it shows people just making stuff. That's it. So it's like 3D printers going or CNC machines or I don't know what else he's got going at the time right now. And I'd love to get something on there if I was that organized. But it's just this great channel that just shows you. It's literally just watching people make stuff. And it's just like the best thing ever. There's no talking or people on it, or it's just hands and technology and 3D printers. And it's just amazing. Anyways, what was I saying about like war and stuff? Yeah, there's a thing on the CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company here. It's kind of like the BBC, only not nearly as good. And they had a thing about I think she was 15-year-old who was in a car with a couple of relatives or something. They were shot at, and her uncles, I guess, or relatives were injured, and so she had to take the wheel of the car and drive through a minefield and then through a Russian barrage of guns. She shot like 4 times, but she got them across the border and got them out of there. She's 15.
Wow.
You know? So it feels weird to me that we don't want to talk about it with the kids the same age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there are 15-year-olds and younger going through this kind of hell, then surely we should be strong enough to be able to talk about it, to discuss it, to, you know what I mean? Does that make, am I being unfair? Or I mean, that's my feeling on it. What do you think, Wolf Pup? Because you didn't want to talk about it at first, right?
Pretty scary at first because I have been used to just hearing about it once and it stopped, but like this is still going right now.
There is a difference, isn't there? I mean, like, does it? Well, here's a question: Does it make the stuff that you do hear about in history class or whatever? Does it make it feel different when you think about it? Because now you've got sort of a frame of reference. You can go like, oh, look, that's happening now. This happened back whenever. I mean, I remember, I'll give you an example. One of the best things that made it real to the Second World War real to me was there was an artist who took the Germans. The Nazis were very, not the Germans. The Nazis were very meticulous in keeping notes about all the people that they killed. So they had little like ID cards that, so they would film, they would photograph people and write their name and information, and you know, whether they were Jewish or they were gay or whatever the issue, whatever the reason was that they felt they were supposed to be in these horrible concentration camps. And they would take the photo, and then they would obviously, you know, they eventually, most of them were killed. And I've only ever seen them as black and white photos, right? And there's something about black and white, as Baz will tell you, that just, it feels a long time ago. And so there's this artist who went in and she found out, like, she got samples of the fabric. She got, you know, anything she could possibly do to find the right hair color, the right eye colors. And she recreated these photos in color. And all of a sudden, they don't look like historical figures. They don't look like little thin, you know, in this case, it was a little girl. You know, it was horrific because all of a sudden they were real. Does that make sense? I feel like black and white can sometimes make it feel like it's not real, or that it was something that happened long ago. And there's something about seeing stuff in color that makes a huge, huge difference.
I just want to say, just you saying that has made me think of something that I wanted to ask for a while. Why do you think people are now starting to make like VHS horror games?
Like, why is there like an interest in retro stuff?
Yeah, people are making like VHS horror games now, and they're like the new thing for horror games.
You mean found footage?
Not found footage, like there's a lot of like these.
But found
weird
footage
fake-
on VHS, like bad quality VHS type stuff. Is it because it's kind of creepy? Like, I always felt like the VHS stuff always felt kind of, there was something kind of creepy about it. You know, just the nature of the technology. Like digital, like HD is just very crystal clear, if that makes sense. Things are much scarier if you can't see the detail. And I think VHS takes it was such bad quality that I feel like it takes a lot of the detail out, which makes you use your imagination more. Does that make sense? Is that possible? Because all that Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, like all the security footage and stuff, is all kind of glitchy and that kind of stuff, which I think just makes things creepier, right? I was not a Betamax person. No, I was VHS. My dad bought one of the first VHS machines that ever existed, and it was this massive, literally wood-paneled machine that was probably, if my arms will work, about that big and about that high, and it had a big, you pressed a button and it would go, it would open up and you'd put the tape in, and that was, yeah. And the quality was awful. But yeah, we were VHS from the beginning. I don't know why. I'm sure it was literally just, I don't think my father knew the difference between, I don't think most of us, including my father, knew the difference between a Betamax and a VHS. So. All right, I said I was going to leave, and then I didn't. And then like an hour went by. So I should probably wrap up. Kat, I'm so flattered that you joined us. Thank you very, very much. Feel free to drop in whenever. Always enjoy your company. Wolf Pup is never not here and always has something interesting to say. I also love it when we get our when we get Bag of Chips and Lord Chunky, and even, I mean, I hate to say it, it's even quite nice when Ham shows up.
Yeah, you don't get to see him much. So
I don't get to see him much at all. It's true. I see.
Just need to talk to
Actually, that's
people.
true. I see Lord Chunky skipping school more often than I see Ham now. That's the thing. Yeah, I get terrible allergies. I gotta go home and game. I mean, get better. All right, get out of here, everybody. That's it. That's my Tech Bandits. I'm wrapping it up. Hopefully, I'll do some streaming with Gimpy G this week. I'm hoping, but I've got to get Jane to an airport tomorrow so she can leave us, so that we can eat pizza every night. And I can walk the dog twice a day. Baz, I have to walk the dog twice a day for the next, 2 weeks.
Good for you. You can get some exercise finally.
What was that? Did you just tell me to get exercise?
I said good for you.
Yeah, that'll be great. Short wrap-up. Yeah, it's true. It's a really short one. Thank you, Anima Confusa. I'm sensing a certain amount. Hey, I haven't heard from Cal yet. Is Cal giving us the silent treatment, Kat? I think she is. She's changed. She used to be quite nice. Okay. So I'm going to say, be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Till we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! And now, can we raid Chris's channel? What was the name of Chris's channel again? Chris Barilla's channel. We should raid. I'll raid the Makerspace one because it's really fun. Cal is passive aggressively lurking. That's so true. Can someone throw? It's Maker Deck. Thank you very much. Maker Deck. I'm gonna throw us over to Maker Deck. Shall I do that? Make sense? Yes, it does. Of course, David. What a brilliant idea. Here we go. Going into the chat. Is it slash? It's slash, isn't it? Raid. Maker Deck. Is that right? Just Maker Deck, one word? Here we go. Lord Chunky, have you seen this?
I see what?
The Maker Deck thing?
I have not.
I'm going to raid them now. Done.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Oh, this channel has follower or subscriber only. Oh, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Good. Okay, 4750. What the heck? Who are you all? My gosh, there's a lot. We got over 60 people in here today. Holy cow. Thanks, everybody. All right, we're going to raid. Check out Maker Deck. Chris Perillo's thing. It's amazing. Enjoy. Talk soon. Next time I see you, I'll probably be doing magic with Mr. Gimpy G. All right. Cheerio.
Bye.
Rating now.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, yeah. Remind me to end the stream. I have a really good habit of yeah.